Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Booyah! The Browns lose the Tank Bowl.
Sunday was a rough day for Cleveland sports.
Someone has to convince me they didn't intentionally lose that game.
They didn't intentionally.
While Jay finishes his food,
I'll tell you, that's... Yeah, go ahead. You can do the sponsor there.
Today's show is brought to you by the Home Builder Association, a new sponsor of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. A home for the holidays. You have a chance to make and win a new home or cash prize and help make wishes come true for Make-A-Wish kids with the Home for the Holidays raffle. Visit ahomeforholidays.org to buy your tickets. Terms and conditions apply. What's up, guys? Welcome back.
Hey!
What's good?
Thank you.
What's good?
How was vacation?
Terrible. I'm not going to get into the details. I talked about it with the guys. We have a lot to get to.
Oh my God!
It was a rough vacation, but it's a first world problem. I'm lucky enough to be able to. Screw this lucky. I'm not lucky. I worked my ass off to make enough money to be able to go on vacation. But there's bigger problems in life. But my vacation was.
I'm sorry to hear it sucked.
It happens. What are you going to do? It doesn't suck as bad as what yesterday was for Cleveland fans. Between the Browns and the Guardians, not a good day.
Not a good day at all.
Thankfully, Donovan Mitchell was wrapped in bubble wrap yesterday.
They had to lose it. They had to try to lose that game, right?
They're really that dumb.
No.
They're that dumb? Yeah. They're that incompetent.
And saying they tried to lose gives them an excuse. Like, it excuses their terribleness. And I don't want to do that.
Well, let's just dive right into it,
dive
guys.
into it, Mike.
No
Dive.
point in waiting. We got
Head
some
first into an
Guardians,
empty
some Cavs,
pool.
and some Browns on the docket. Our discussion to start today's show is brought to you guys by a Home Builders Association. Give big this year with the Home for the Holidays raffle. You have a chance to win a beautiful new custom home or a cash prize this holiday season and help make wishes come true for Make-A-Wish kids with critical illnesses. Raffle proceeds benefit Make-A-Wish OKI, which has granted over 22,000 wishes to children facing critical illnesses across Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana since 1983. This year's house is a custom-built ranch by Petros Homes and has 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and a 3-car garage. It also includes amazing features like a great room with vaulted ceilings, an unbelievable kitchen, and a mudroom with open lockers and a unique pet shower station. One lucky winner will be announced on December 24th, so get your $100 ticket now. Just visit ahomeforholidays.org to buy your tickets. That's ahomefortheholidays.org. Terms and conditions apply.
Maybe that's how Dillon Gabriel became the quarterback. Kevin Stefanski was doing Make-A-Wish.
Yeah.
Possibly.
And Dillon Gabriel's wish was to be an NFL quarterback.
I'm trying to figure out they related.
Looks like a wish at this point.
I need that 23andMe report.
So what do you make of the game yesterday, guys? We did the post-game show. G,
Yeah.
we've heard your thoughts. Bull, Jason, Jay. An ugly loss. I mean, at the end of the day, they lost to a team that made it very evident, during the week that they have no intention of trying to win.
Yeah, steaming garbage.
We got to be careful when we say that because players and coaches always want to win. We throw around terms like tanking. Yes, the players and coaches always want to win. You think any of those players wanted to lose?
They want to win.
They played like they wanted to lose yesterday.
Well, didn't the Jets too?
They literally played like they. No, the Jets. I mean, when you give up a kickoff return and a punt return for a touch, that's effort. To me, it's like rebounding. Special teams are effort, and they just gave no effort on either. I watched both of them 3 times.
Yeah,
they were mailing it in on both of those plays. Everybody.
Yeah, I mean. Listen, the Browns are a really bad football team. The Jets are a really bad football team. And
we out-terribled them.
It was a terrible game between 2 terrible teams. It was painful to watch.
It was high school.
Did they finish with any passing yards?
High school.
I think the Jets finished with 54.
Come on, man.
Mike, you got that tweet?
Come on, man.
This was the first game maybe ever since at least they've been keeping stats in 1950.
Yeah, Steve, take tag board for
me. Put this. Here you go. How unlike the Jets... Since 1950, and by the way, it's since 1950 because I don't think they know before then. So this may have never happened before. Teams that had been 225-0 when holding opponents to 175 or fewer yards and not turning the ball over. The Browns were the first team to lose in that span, per per ESPN research. First team.
Take
ever.
a bow, boys.
75
Take
years.
a bow.
Remember the game they lost to the Jets a couple of years ago?
Yes.
It was a very similar thing.
Yes.
It's the first time we've ever seen this happen.
Yes, and it happened again.
Ever.
The Browns are kings of a stat. That's
We
never
are
happened.
royalty at
Yes.
sucking.
Yes.
That's what
There's
they
no
are.
doubt. No doubt about it. Your son was at the game suffering in person.
He did.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It wasn't
my
nobody in the
God.
stands. It was raining. I'm going to tell you this. I'm not even source guy because you know what I do? I just make my opinion and stand on business. That's how I feel. I put my research in. I look at the playbook. I look at the film, and I'll make my opinion. But let me just tell you this. Between Sunday at 1 o'clock and this morning, I have never in my life had my phone, my text messages, my emails, my DMs jump off the Richter scale with people that it ain't just the people outside. It's people that's inside. I'm talking guys that's playing. I'm talking about former Cleveland Browns, former Browns legends. I'm talking about national former players that are like, I do not understand what the heck the Cleveland Browns are doing, and Kevin Stefanski is clueless about what's going on. Guys, let's set the tone real quick. It's time to stop playing the games. The games is over. Kevin Stefanski, this loss should be the final act for Kevin Stefanski. They might not get rid of him during the season, but for the fact that you came out of the bye week and this is the type of energy and level that you gave, and you lose to a team and they have 54 yards passing and they traded their best two players. I told you I picked the Browns to win this game because I didn't think that they could come out and take an L like that. But lo and behold, it's the Cleveland Browns, and Kevin Stefanski even pulled that off. I also heard from multiple people said they are a little upset that even before watching the tape, they're not making any moves. Before watching the tape, the moves are not being made. So here's the thing, too. Hey, Kevin Stefanski is going to die on the hill of Dillon Gabriel. We all see it. He's not a top 100 player. Scouts have already said that. We've seen his play on the football field. I mean, at what point are we going to just say enough is enough and just stop the charade? But he's going to continue to trot him out there. It's going to be bad. It's going to get nasty against the Baltimore Ravens when that stadium's half full. But this regime, I'm tired of seeing it, and we need to start acting like this is it. It's not. It's time to move on.
You know what was funny? When Gabriel threw that second touchdown, that floater to Judy, on the broadcast, Spiro Diaz goes, "Man, what a great pass by Dillon."
By the way,
I'm like,
No,
great pass.
I actually thought it was a good pass. I thought it was a good pass.
Yeah.
It was.
I thought it was a good pass.
You did?
It was
Yes.
a good adjustment by
What?
Yeah.
You see, but
Yeah.
when you see it from the back, all 22 angle, he threw it to a spot where only Judy can.
And
That
he came
ball
back
was
and got
floated.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came
Now the
back and got
velocity,
it.
the velocity
There was
is a
no
different thing.
velocity on that
The
throw.
velocity, but I like the placement.
It was
The
a
pla-
touch pass, though. I don't think he was trying to rip that one. And
Touch
listen,
pass?
I didn't think Dillon played well yesterday. I'm not trying to defend his own.
He had about 3
performance.
throws.
I thought it was a
Yeah,
That
about
was,
three
that was a
throws.
pretty damn good throw.
I don't agree with you. I thought that ball was floating out there and wobbling, Mike. Go look at it again.
We can't show you all 22 on the show or we get copyright infringed.
Yeah,
so
don't.
I'll show you when we're done with the show. I need
You're
to
right,
look it up.
Mike.
It's out there on Twitter. But, boy, I mean,
I thought it was a good job by Judy, too, coming back to get the ball.
was a
Gee,
good
I mean, you
adjustment.
explained it perfectly on the
Good
show.
play by
yesterday.
both of them.
You want to explain it again because people missed that?
So I like the play design. It was like an over route, and it was almost like a deep zig route. They ran that route with Tyreek Hill I believe when
It was
he was
the
playing
wasp
with
route against the 49ers.
And so basically he runs across and then he pivots and runs back to the corner of the end zone. And so with that throw, now the defender is on his back. So Dillon Gabriel did a nice job. It looked like it's underthrown, but he put a little air on it so that the defender, the only place that football could be caught was by Jerry Jeudy, and he has the defender on his back. So for him to even break it up, he has to go over his back, and it's a pass interference. So I thought it was good placement, and I liked the play design, and I thought he put it in the area where he got the ball. I also thought it was a really nice play to Harold Fannin on a quarter route that he put it right in the basket. He caught it right like this. So he had a few throws, but he's few and far between.
All right. Well,
yeah, I mean,
I'll look it over again. It didn't look like that good a throw to me. There wasn't much good beside that. The Fannin throw was a good throw. Jerry Jeudy played well. He's one of the few guys that played well in this game. Quinshon Judkins played well, although the yards per attempt again are bad because the offensive line. Jack Conklin is terrible, by the way.
Oh,
The whole offensive line.
I mean, he's
What
always had a
happened?
ton of injuries.
He
He's
got-
still better than the other guys.
he got
I know, but
drop
That's not
kicked.
saying much.
But I know.
Their
I
line
know.
is this is as bad as it's
We
been.
were arguing before the show who's worse, Justin Fields or Dillon Gabriel. I mean, like that's like
Flip a
arguing
coin.
which pile of crap is smellier.
I mean, at least Justin Fields hit the screen pass. Dillon Gabriel, that screen pass that Corley he missed, he threw it in the front row to the stands. There's nobody in the screen. Go back and watch all 22. That is 60 yards. He could have walked down the field.
He made a lot of throws that there were no chance to be.
Not even near. Yeah. Some of them I asked, who's he throwing that? Where is that ball going?
Yeah.
All of that said, I mean, he was bad. There's no question about it. But he's still not the reason they're not winning.
He's part of the reason they're not winning.
Definitely part of it. But to me, there's so much else wrong. It's like, well, the bathroom burned down, but so did the whole house. Everything is bad. The offensive line, I did think Jerry Jeudy played a decent game yesterday. I thought I saw more effort from him yesterday than I'd seen from him in a long time, maybe going back to the Denver game last year. But in general, the offensive line looks like they give up on most plays.
They stink.
The defense, I hate to point to the defense because they gifted 14 points.
Right.
But still, I don't think you should allow the Jets.
No, it's a tie game. You got to do more. They're being asked to do more than they should be asked to do.
Right, but again, you can see when they let go of the rope, when they say we can't stop this.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jason.
This was the first, because I've been pretty consistent all year. It's a bad team. They're going to lose a lot of games. It's not a good team. There are winnable games on the schedule.
Sure.
This was one of them. You had to win this game.
Right.
This was the first time where I walked away going, there may not be anything left to salvage. Like, the infection has overtaken the body.
Yes.
And
it's down to the Titans, the Raiders, and
because
the Saints.
You can't,
That's it.
But you also have to look at it like the owner came out and told you we're not very good, we're not going to be very good. They're not expecting to win. So when that's the bar that you set, you're going to live up to it.
Or down to it.
And just remember,
he also said you can't win just 3 games.
That's exactly. But they went 1-31 and brought the coach back. I just remember they went 1-31 and brought the coach back.
I don't see a world where Kevin Stefanski coaches the Browns next year.
Well, here's the thing, and I was talking to this about with Adam and Mike a couple weeks ago. I'm going to give you an aneurysm because you have to decide at the end of this season if you're going to take a quarterback, okay, in this draft. You have to either commit to this regime for 3 more years or fire them all now.
Fire them all now.
Yeah, let's go with the fire them all now.
You have to take a quarterback. You're taking a quarterback in the next draft.
But the worst thing you can do is bring them back, have them select the quarterback, and then fire them.
Yeah, that would
it happens. It happens across the league.
That's because they whiffed on. Again, Jackson Dart. I don't know, but I know more about him than I know about anybody else right now in that rookie class. Cam Ward is doing what?
But it's already happened to Cam.
It has happened to Cam.
Coach got
midway
fired.
Through first season.
Yeah,
done.
And it happened.
That's how you stunt a quarterback's growth.
It happened here with Baker.
Yes.
And it just happens
every
over
year.
And
new
over
OC.
and over and over. You bring in the quarterback, and then you fire the regime, and then the new GM or the new head coach comes in and goes, well, I didn't pick that guy. I don't want that guy. Mm-hmm. And that's how you get on this cycle. Yes. So either you commit to these guys for 3 years.
That's why they got to fire
for 3 years.
That is why they got to fire
or sweep them
all
out.
All of them. The general manager as well.
But the problem is, I don't think, my opinion, right, just strictly my opinion, I don't think Jimmy trusts himself to pick somebody else.
Okay, then you know what?
Now he lost his North Star in Paul DePodesta. I'm telling you.
North Star to hell!
I'm telling you.
Follow me, boys! Follow me!
But the thing that Paul was... The one thing I think he was good at was identifying coaches. I do think he was good at that. That's the one thing I think he was good at. So now we're going back to the Corn Ferry search firms. We're going back to no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You know who the Browns need?
I'll take Bull picking our next coach over Jimmy.
I was thinking about this. I was thinking about this morning. They need their version of Bob Myers.
Okay.
And I don't know who that guy is.
I don't either.
NFL.
I don't either.
And it's too late. It's too bad that they're like 3 months late on Bob because Bob is sensational. And Bob, of course, was the GM of the Warriors. But he's more than that. And now he's like the right-hand man to Josh Harris with Washington. He's part of the Blitzer Harris where he's got his finger in all the teams. But like an agent who knows the league, who knows these guys, who really knows these guys, like the Arn Tellem and the Bob Myers on the NBA side, they need somebody like that to come in and Jimmy say, here, just do it. I'm done. Just you do it, and I'll write the checks.
Well, he'll never do that.
I don't think he'll ever do that.
No, he'll never do that.
I don't think he'll ever do
that.
that.
Even if he did, he picked the wrong guy.
But that's why you need someone who intimately knows this entire league. And it's not going and finding Mike Holmgren or Bill Parcells or Bill Belichick. That's not the answer.
John
You've
Gruden
got
now
to
that
find.
everybody
You've got to
That's
find
not
the next
it.
Sean McVay. You've got to find a young up-and-comer, and you're going to have to give him the keys to the castle. And I did have an NFL, someone who covers the NFL for a living, tell me within the last week that this time it's different, because I think everybody's kind of the assumption that Kevin's gone, and that where does this organization go from here? The point was made that you're building a new stadium. That's what makes it different this time. It's completely different. This is the most critical time in the Browns' history. Because if they get this one wrong, and they take hot garbage from the lakefront to Brook Park, this franchise is done. They're done, guys.
I don't know if I want somebody learning on the job. I might be over learning on the job training. It's too important. It's too. You cannot have somebody that comes in and is a hot shot young dude. It's my way or the highway. I'm about to put my foot down. All that. I need somebody with some experience level that knows what the heck they looking at.
We've never hired an experienced coach. Go back and look. Okay.
Mangini, although Mangini was the previous.
No, I mean, we've always hired coaches that are welcome to the NFL and your first head coaching
Hugh Jackson
experience.
is the only coach they've hired that had a previous head coach.
Jimmy?
Yes.
Jimmy and D, since they've owned the team, you mean? Or
Go back 30 years. I mean, go back 30 years.
Mangini.
Oh, Mangini, 2.
Okay.
That's it.
I mean, but typically our hire is, let's give this guy a shot. That's what they do.
More times than not,
But
it's
they
the
always
shiny
get
new
it wrong.
toy. Yeah.
You know, they had a chance to hire Shanahan. They didn't want to play by his rules.
But there you're contradicting yourself, because he was that hot young guy at the
Yeah,
time.
so what they get is the hot young name that fizzles out when he gets to Cleveland.
Well, because
that's what we have.
3 years from now, 4 years from now, Tommy Rees will be a head coach, and you're going to say, well, we had him in the building.
I don't know that he will be.
So, yeah, I think he will be. I think he will be.
We don't know if he'll be any good.
At this point, listen, here's the situation. The season is a wrap. Once you lost that game in the fashion that you lost it, these guys are in no way, shape, or form ever to be assumed that their evaluation or opinions on players should count. It should be from here. It's done. Like the evaluation of any quarterback, you cannot let any of these people be a judgment of any quarterback. It's not possible.
You talked about the disease taking over the body, and it's the culture of losing has taken over the team, right? Like the stupid football, the returns are inexcusable. The special teams is just horrible. But even on that last drive, and we know even if the Browns got the ball back, they weren't going to score.
They weren't going to win, no.
But
you don't want to steal
yourself. You had 2 penalties on that last drive that were especially that last one.
The last one.
That is the dumbest penalty
I've
I've ever seen.
The Jets were literally laughing at the Browns.
Yeah.
They were laughing.
There's no world where the Browns were going to. Where the
Jets were going to snap that play. There was never a chance they were going to run a play.
That goes right next to Dwayne Rudd's helmet. In Browns lore.
Yeah,
jumping off sides on a 4th down that they were never going to snap.
Never.
And Dwayne Rudd throwing his helmet at the end of the game cost. Like, they are 1-1A as far as I'm concerned.
I mean,
and by the way,
such stupid football.
And I heard somebody say this on the internet. Listen, at some point, Kevin, you got to stop running, and this is going to cost you more than anything. And I hope in the next stop he understands it. You trying to protect these dudes and not say anything against about what happens. When asked about that question, it's not about one play. Yes, it is about one play. It's about accountability and saying, listen, we cannot play people who are jumping off sides when we know they're down the distance. We talk about being smart and accountable. We talk about this. And they were not smart and they were not accountable. It doesn't make you look better, that fact that you seem to be just passive about calling this stuff out. This is high school. Like high school, this is the part that really gets me, because it's the accountability or lack thereof that people, two plays in a row. One a defensive holding when it's 3rd and 14. Guys, don't you understand the down and distance? The only way they get a first down is if you get a holding penalty. Why are you? And that's the thing. People have checked out.
Oh, the defensive hold.
People have checked out. Checking out doesn't mean they get on the podium and say the coach is bad. Checking out means I'm not worried about the consequences. I'm going to play next week. Or you're not dialed in to know what the down and distance and what is going to happen. And then instead of everybody else getting on each other in the huddle and be like, that's unacceptable, we still get another chance to get the ball back. And then a guy jumps off sides and the whole world laughs at you. That right there is not acceptable even on a high school level. And we've lost so much that we are grasping onto anything. The coach, the GM, at least we got this. No, guys, this is the second time in how many weeks that you see coaches on the sideline laughing at you. It was Vrabel and then it was Glenn this week, jumping up, celebrating. And if that's not embarrassing to the owner, if it's not embarrassing to the organization, it should be embarrassing to the fans. And I wouldn't show up to do nothing with them on Sunday. I'd leave every seat orange if that's what they feel like is acceptable. And the Muni lot, the tickets, jerseys, concession, the only way they care about anything about what's going on that football field is if you touch their pockets. And if you want to go, that's fine. I get it. We all want to release in this world. But I'm going to just tell you what, that product that they're putting out, and they told you they was going to put it out, and they made it better. Oh, we're going to try to lose. That's a fireable offense in itself, trying to lose. And we accepted it. So, no.
Yeah, when you go to those games and spend the money for the product, you're co-signing it. And to the accountability point, G, boy, the Patriots are a fascinating group.
Oh.
I watched, and there was some confusion, and I reached out to a buddy of mine that covers the Patriots, and I even asked, what the hell's up with Henderson? He said, well, he's learning a lesson.
Flipped that switch, didn't he?
He's learning a lesson. That's what's going on. And yesterday I saw he had 14 for 150 and 2 touchdowns.
Best game by far.
And we just talked about how he was in the doghouse, right?
And Vrabel made no bones about it. He's not doing what we need him to do. It's shots like that across the bow to highly drafted players that come in there and maybe think that they're more ready than they are, and they don't know what the work schedule is. And then when a coach sends a message like that, it's not just a message to one player, it's a message to everybody. Damn, he's a high draft pick. He came in here, he can't see the field. He can't even get on the field. And that's a lot of Belichick, too. I mean, Belichick, I think, lost a Super Bowl because he wanted to make a point. Yeah. He literally lost a Super Bowl because he wanted to make a point.
Browner was sitting on the bench.
And they got torched in the secondary.
And he was cool with it.
And apparently, he's, because his mission is no single player is bigger than the team. And at whatever cost, you have to send that message. And, gee, I would like to see him come into the news conference and name a player by name.
Names.
I want this
names.
Cannot happen. But he won't. He gives them cover. He gives them cover. This is the wrong coach. He is the wrong coach. And I like Kevin. Personally, I do like him. And I do think as a coordinator, he will find more success in this league. Just not here. There's too many landmines here that you can't miss. But the one thing that tells me he's not a head coach is his treatment. I don't even want to say he's a player's coach. He's just blah. Call a guy out. Fans are so angry after that game, and they want to hear a coach that's angry too. Well, it wasn't just one play that cost us the game.
The press conferences are a waste of time.
Waste of time.
Even talk to him.
Waste of time. When he comes in there just once, Jay, just once. I know it'll never happen, just like your point. I wish that the Browns fans would protest. Say it's gotten to a level where we can't go inside the stadium anymore.
That'd be so awesome.
I would love it. Yeah. I would love it.
But people are going to be there with their signs and their outfits.
Why there's 0 fans inside. Yeah. And just once, I know it will never happen because you guys have a job to do. Just once, I wish when Kevin walked into the news conference, all of the Cleveland reporters got up and walked out. Why don't you? Why don't you? What are you going to get?
Nothing, yeah.
What are you going to get from this guy? But the same garbage that you can just re-rack from last week. Pull any of his quotes from the Cincinnati game and plug them in. They're applicable. Just when he walks in and sits down, obviously a very disappointing result, everybody stands up and leaves.
That'd be awesome.
Walks out.
Jason, you got to do it.
Lead it. Organize it. Come on, Jay.
I don't even go in there and listen to him.
I know you don't. You don't waste your time.
Jason skips the Stefanski pressers to be here with us. He's the wrong person to ask. We want Zach Jackson or Mary Kay on later this week.
I go in the locker room post game.
And to be honest with you,
that's where you get your best stuff anyhow. But
to be honest with you, though, McNuggets, I hear Zach and Mary Kay and Daniel asking questions, pertinent questions. Daryl Ryder, and he don't answer them.
He don't answer.
No.
Yeah.
He cares
it is
not
an
to answer
effort in futility, and that's why the reporters should boycott it. Just walk out.
Well, I'm very curious what he's going to say about Bubba Ventrone. That question's coming to. That's where we're going next, guys. FanDuel is the main sponsor for our next topic. The NBA's back. There's no better place to get in on the action than with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets from everything from who will score the next bucket to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at bigger payouts. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if their first $5 bet wins. So head over to FanDuel.com/UCSS to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. G. Bush, how in the world do you explain one team giving up back-to-back return touchdowns, one kick return, then a punt return, and there's been no movement on the job security of one Bubba Ventrone? How do you explain it?
Because this is the way it works. Kevin Stefanski still has control over his staff, and the way it works in the NFL is this. I've talked to former coaches about this, about firing people during the middle of the season. And when you're a head coach, they have a courtesy. So you don't want to fire somebody in the middle of the season because that would signify that you are so incompetent that you have to go and leave the building because you're that bad at your job. So very many head coaches are going to put their coaching tree in that position. So when things like that happen, they may make some changes after the season. They may make some changes, at a bye week in terms of play calling or something. But they don't do that to people who they have relationships with because that signals in the industry that you just are incompetent. So that's the reason Bubba Ventrone is still there, and it's the reason probably nobody on the staff is going to get fired during the middle of the season because it's frowned upon in the fraternity of coaching. Now, in terms of what is his merits on doing it, or should it be done? Sure, it should have been done. The special teams are horrible, and this is one of the microcosms of why the Browns are bad. It's the small things that add up to taking these L's. When you give up 2 back-to-back touchdowns like that in your special teams, that's a lack of detail, it's a lack of effort, and it's a lack of want to and understanding and placing an importance on those minor things. If you look at it, the defense plays this game. You didn't have anybody on the Jets that got over 1 catch. The longest catch was a screen pass to a running back for 40-something yards. You got an interception. Their quarterback threw for 50-something yards. But you gave up 2 back-to-back touchdowns in the kicking game.
Has that ever happened before?
I don't think so.
I saw a stat yesterday. It was the shortest amount of game time elapsed between back-to-back punt and kick returns allowed. So I'm sure it's happened before. They've given up 2. But yesterday was the shortest amount of game time elapsed.
That was the game.
What was crazy?
That was the game.
Right after a nice touchdown drive.
Right.
You're like, all right, let's go. Yeah. We're cooking. The very next play, 99.
Yeah. Those are the things that it's a hallmark of bad teams. Like you can't. This is all time bad. Bull.
You could tell watching the game that it was 2 bad football teams. That they just both teams did a lot of stupid things. Even a play that seemed smart. I don't know if anybody else picked up on this. They didn't mention it on the broadcast. In that last drive where the Browns had those 2 terrible penalties. Remember
the slide?
The slide.
Yeah, that was a dumb play.
The second one.
The
first
second
slide
one.
was
Why
a good
are you
play.
sliding now?
It's a 2-minute warning.
Yes.
He should have kept running.
Kept running.
And they didn't even say that on the broadcast.
They never said a word about it. Never said a word about it.
That's
now,
dumb.
his first slide was smart.
Yes, the first slide was a good one.
But the second time he did it, I'm like, wait, I think he got that confused.
Right. He wasn't aware of the clock.
But a good team makes the players aware. I feel like.
Did you guys see Trevion Henderson's second touchdown?
I did not.
Yes. When he looked at the sideline.
He literally had so much time.
Yeah.
He was running down the sidelines, and then he wasn't sure, should I score? Should I go down? He pointed to the sideline, like, should I score?
Sideways.
And they were like,
it was crazy.
Yeah, go in. And so he still had time to go in for the touchdown.
That's how fast he was and how much he outran everybody.
And it also tells you how scared he is of Vrabel.
Yeah. He's like, yo, coach, let me know.
Coach, can I score? Am I allowed to score?
Let me just know.
How about the game Jonathan Taylor had yesterday?
Oh.
I don't mean to sidebar us, but this guy had a magnificent season.
Yeah.
But I think Bubba Ventrone if nobody else gets fired, obviously he's going to be fired at the end of the year. I get what you're saying about coaches don't love firing coaches during the season. I'd fire him now. That was a disgrace.
Well, the problem with that is who are you going to hire? Who are you going to?
I don't even care. I mean, the Browns' return game is so pathetic. There was one play yesterday.
Oh, they never get
They
returns.
had one decent return, and I can't remember who it was.
Samson
penalty,
and then he ran out of bounds.
Yeah, Samson dropped a.
I don't think it was Samson. I think it was
Corley's the other return.
Lavaradin, or how do you say his name? I forgot.
Laverdane,
whatever the hell his name is. He had a return. What does he return? Kicks or punts? I can't even remember.
He intentionally ran out of bounds? I don't remember that.
I thought Samson had a decent
I'd kind of checked
There
out.
was one where he had like 10 yards, and he could have gone further instead, but he ran out of bounds. Go back and look at it.
do we have anybody on our team that runs faster than 89 on Madden?
No.
Isaiah Bond's supposed to.
But he looks like he's the slowest small guy I've ever seen.
And Zach Jackson says he's not an NFL receiver.
No.
But he's all yours for the
We
next
gave
3
him
years.
3 years guaranteed.
I mean,
Because people were banging down his door.
You get a contract. You get a contract.
Undrafted. Here's 3 years guaranteed.
It's a
Is this
dumpster
the
fire.
Jay and Bull? You guys weren't here yesterday, but Jason, you were here last week when we had Coach Spencer on, and Coach Spencer was really insightful. He was a 2002 Special Teams Coach of the Year, won a Super Bowl with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I asked him, hey, we get mad at Bubba Ventrone when Andre Schmidt misses kicks, but like, Bubba Ventrone wasn't a kicker. How much blame can we put on him for that?
Right,
He said it's, sure, he's technically the coach, but that's not his domain.
Well, we don't blame. I don't blame him for missed kicks.
No.
Just hear me out. Here I'm going with this. He asked us, he said, what did Bubba Ventrone make his living in the NFL doing? And
Special teams guy.
As
Gunner.
a special teams guy, covering kicks and blocking.
Yeah.
We saw what happened yesterday.
Right.
And now I'm curious, and Jason, I'm curious because you were there and you heard Coach Spencer kind of talk about it. I understand that changes probably aren't going to happen mid-season, even though they could. This is just not how.
Why are they probably not? I mean, it happens all the time. Guys get fired during the season.
I think it's less common than you think.
Yeah, but if it's not,
I mean, if a head coach gets blown up, there'll be coaches that go with them. But typically, what's your drawing pool?
Coordinators don't usually get fired.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Wood should have been fired.
In
the season.
The Lions
and
just
wasn't.
demoted their offensive coordinator because Dan Campbell took the play call.
But the Lions are trying to win. The Lions are a good franchise trying to win.
Yeah.
They're not trying to win. So why would you fire a guy he's helping them? Like seriously.
Again, Jason, the coaches are not trying to lose.
The coaches are not trying to
Why
lose.
would you try to lose? Listen, I used to be in favor of when you were a bad team, I get it, but look at the teams that are going to pick in the top 10 this year. It's the same teams every year.
Yeah.
They get high picks every year.
And they screw them up.
The Steelers never draft high. They get good players. The Ravens never draft high, get good players.
Yeah.
The Packers, the Patriots. Like a lot of the one time the Patriots did draft high, they drafted Drake May, and now they're in good shape again. The Tennessee's sucked since they fired Vrabel. Saints have sucked every year since Breeze left. The Giants have been terrible for a decade. The Browns have been terrible for 4 decades. The Jets have been terrible for most of the last 6 decades. It's the same. Doesn't matter how high they pick. They're going to screw it up.
Yep. Ownership.
We've substituted one of the most focal parts of what it is to play football in organizations, and that is development, coaching, and scouting. We've completely thrown that in the trash can just for this lottery ticket of, listen, we're garbage. We don't understand how to develop, but if we get a high enough pick, then we don't need to do our jobs. No, it's still your job to develop, even if you get a good player. The Browns have gotten high picks or had an opportunity to get picks every single year. And what do? Half of them don't make it to the first-year contract, Jed Wills. You either make an evaluation on Baker Mayfield that turned out to be wrong, right? You make an evaluation on some of these guys at defensive tackle, and you pick wrong. You trade down. All these things are on you. So, yeah, you can have a great number 1 pick, but here's the thing. All right, draft you a quarterback. And then how are you going to come back next year with no receivers and no linemen and then say
expect different results
and expect it's going to be the same thing?
Can you put up the still again that shows where they currently stand in the draft? I think they're fourth or fifth.
They're currently the 4th pick, yeah.
Does anybody think that there's a franchise-changing player that will be on the board at number 4?
No.
I mean, they might end up higher than that, but there could be a
There's
franchise-changing player. I don't know if it's going to be a
good
quarterback.
players in the draft every year.
No, what I'm saying is there are great players everywhere. We just can't seem to find
It's
them.
early. It's early this year, so we don't know. But I mean, the top 2 quarterbacks that came out last year, we were told it's not a great quarterback draft. They're right back in the bottom 5. There they are.
Yeah.
With their saviors.
The top 3 quarterbacks taken.
The top 3.
Shook was 3rd.
Yes.
Was 2nd. And
fairness, he was the 2nd round pick. But
again, we keep looking at the college ranks, and I keep squinting hard to see might there
well,
be?
maybe there will be. Who knows?
There could be.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like it's not like the year where Burrow was coming out and everybody was saying, oh, he's the number 1 guy and he's going to change someone's life. Like, I don't see that guy. It could happen. You're right, Bull. It could. But
well, even last year, 2 years ago, with Caleb Williams so far has been okay, and Jaden Daniels and Drake May. Like, people had high hopes for that draft class. And Bo Nix, you know what I'm saying? But right now, it doesn't feel like that's going to – right now, it feels like this year's going to be like last year where it's a lot of question marks.
And we've been saying this all along. Yeah. Like, you can't bank your life. If you banking your life on somebody 22, 23 coming out saving you, when you still have had the line, you don't have – here's what you do. Give me a lineman. Give me a lineman. If you want to go back and get you a veteran or whatever, first of all, Shedeur Sanders should be playing tomorrow. That's first and foremost. Let's get that out of the way. Second of all, you go get you another veteran and let them cats do what they're going to do and bring back Dillon Gabriel because you thought he was a backup anyway. And you go get you the best available lineman. You go give me Cardinal Tate, and then you give me 7 more linemen. And guess what? You can't, and I'm on a free agent receiver. And if you don't do nothing in 2026, here's what you can do. You could do what you wanted to do from all along. Go get you Arch Manning or one of these other dudes or Sellers who's going back to school. But as far as I'm concerned, it's malpractice. If you run around talking about let's get another quarterback and run this back with this, it'll be the same thing. And then they're going to get fired.
Yeah, well, if you have new guys making the pick and they're
going to get fired.
I still think the Browns are going to draft a quarterback next year, but who knows?
Oh, they are.
Well, we're talking quarterback in our next topic, so let's get a read in. Let's talk about Dillon Gabriel. Guys, Dillon Gabriel is brought to us today by Rippling. If you're a business owner, here's the truth. SaaS promised to make work easier, but now the average company is buried by hundreds of apps that slow down your teams, and they simply don't work together. That's not SaaS, that's SAD, software as a disservice, and why you need Rippling. Rippling is the unified platform for HR, payroll, IT, and finance, all in one place. They've helped millions of businesses replace a mess of disconnected tools with one system designed to give leaders clarity, speed, and control. And right now, you can get 6 months free of Rippling when you go to rippling.com/LockedOnNFL. Learn more at rippling.com/LockedOnNFL. That is rippling.com/LockedOnNFL for 6 months. Terms and conditions apply. Also, the newsletter is coming out at noon today. If you want to sign up for the newsletter, text the number on your screen, 216-435-1590 to get that free newsletter. All right, guys, Dillon Gabriel threw 2 touchdowns, did not turn the ball over yesterday, missed a bunch of throws, though, as we have discussed earlier. It was the first time he had played for Tommy Rees as a play caller. Jason, what'd you think of Gabriel coming off the bye with Tommy Rees in his ear as a primary play caller? Did he look better, worse, or essentially the same in your opinion? I got to ask. It's a fair question to ask.
No, it was exactly like we said last week. Yeah. What difference is it going to make? It's the same ingredients. It's the same material. And, yeah, I mean, at times I thought they committed to the run a little bit better. At times I thought they moved the pocket a little bit more, both things that I expected them to try and do. But, it is what it is. He's not a franchise quarterback. It's unfair the position that they put him in, but this is the position that he's in. And so you have to grade him as such. But, no, he had a couple decent throws, but overall, it was about what I expected it to be.
It's silly that he's still playing at this point. I mean, I've never seen how often does a quarterback get drafted as low as he did and get
what
this
else do they
long
have?
a runway?
A quarterback who was drafted even lower. They traded all the veterans.
Right, but let's just see him at this point. What do you got to lose?
Yeah, it's time.
What do you got to lose?
It's time. Let the winning commence.
You want to say,
let's go.
You want to say if you play Dillon Gabriel one more game and then you play Shedeur the rest of the season, it's an even amount of games? All right, whatever.
Now you're looking at it like, okay, do you want Shedeur's first start to be against the Ravens?
I just don't
We don't care.
I don't care.
And they're not Bears. They're not Grizzly Bears. They're not going to.
The Ravens' defense stinks.
By the way, Shedeur
It's been better.
No, they've been better the last few weeks.
The best thing about Shedeur Sanders is I think he has a little bit of confidence. I mean, he runs around and does rap songs and has if he has a bad game, I don't think he's going to melt in the shower.
No, it's not about his confidence. It's about trying to give him the best chance to succeed. Regardless, I mean, guys with confidence think they can.
Okay, so then they're going to play him against the Raiders the following week?
I would.
Maybe.
I would 1,000%. I can understand why you wouldn't put him out there against the Ravens. I get it. But we're going to see the same thing out of Dillon Gabriel, the same thing. Like, we don't need to even watch the game. I can tell you he's going to complete around 50 to 55% of his passes.
Yeah.
I give him this. He takes care of the football. His touchdown to interception ratio looks good. If you just look at that, you're like, wow, we got something here. But I would let him play the Ravens game.
He had another one yesterday that should have been picked right through the
He's had a number of them. But for some reason, maybe because he's got the lefty spin, they can't catch them.
He should have 8 or 9 picks.
But after this game, I know the Ravens or the Raiders have a great pass rusher, and that could turn ugly. But every team's got a strength. The Raiders, to me, we've got 3 winnable games left on the schedule. If he comes out against the Raiders, Sanders, and plays well and gets the win,
you get excited.
Then okay, you're gonna lose against the 49ers. That's fine. But then against the Titans, like, I don't know. They're an awful team. They're the worst team in the NFL.
The 49ers aren't very good either.
No, they're not. But I mean, that's a team that should beat us without problem.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, it's a good.
It's the NFL. They beat the freaking Packers. You never know.
I mean, the Dolphins smoked the Bills yesterday.
I mean,
the Dolphins smoked the Bills.
Go figure that one out.
That's what.
So why not just? Let's find out.
Yeah,
what are we doing?
I just don't understand.
You know when you scratch all of the numbers on the lottery ticket? And you flipping it over? Because some of them have like secret numbers, bonus numbers. There's got to be another number. And you just, damn, I've scratched everything on this ticket. It's not a winner.
That was the
There's no more boxes to be scratched.
No,
he is what he is. Let's go on to the next ticket.
Yeah.
That was the thing that Kevin Spencer that we had on Friday?
Yes, Kevin Spencer.
The thing that he said that was interesting was like, teams don't look at it as, let's throw him out there and see what you got. Like, you only put him out there if you think he's prepared and ready to go. Clearly, the Browns do not think he's prepared and ready to go.
But who trusts their evaluation?
Let's find out.
I'm not disputing that.
Yeah.
I'm not disputing that.
They think Dillon Gabriel's ready to go?
I think it's more of they don't think Shador's ready more than Dillon is playing so well.
You know, there are some guys that are better in games than they are in practice.
100%,
there are.
100%.
Listen,
yes.
Tim Tebow was one of those guys. Tim Tebow's numbers were never great. He just found a way to win. Somehow they were winning fluky games, crazy games. He was complete in one game. He was like 9 of 18 for 111 yards, and he had the last-minute drive to win the game.
I'll tell you
Some guys rise to that occasion. And I do think Shador's personality is give me the smoke.
Play Shador. If he balls out, fire Kevin, fire everybody. They never believed in him.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're right.
If he doesn't, trade him. Because I'm not going through this, I almost cussed. I ain't going through this again next year.
Yeah.
It's too much for a backup quarterback. If he doesn't play well this year, goodbye.
Yeah, the juice isn't worth the squeeze.
But here's the thing. I'm going to just keep it real. Kevin Stefanski ain't worth the squeeze.
I just said sweep him.
I don't think
like here's the thing.
Like, I don't think it has to play Shador playing poorly to get me to the point where Kevin's got to
about
go.
3 players that are worth the
Kevin's
squeeze.
got to go.
What's she saying?
But
go ahead.
Because what we're talking about here is we ain't even seen him play. What we're dealing with today is because of Kevin Stefanski and his hand-picked quarterback, Dillon Gabriel, who he's been spreading propaganda about since day one. He's received the reps. You told us he was a supercomputer. You told us how great he was. You told us 1,000 times. And you talk about, we ain't got no lineman. Well, guess what? You could have drafted a lineman in the 3rd round that could have helped you, or a receiver. But you took Dillon Gabriel. He's been getting reps since day one. When it comes to the comparison between him and Shador Sanders, the Cleveland Browns have no legs to stand on talking about who's ready and who ain't. Because obviously this guy has never been ready. But they continue to force feed him down your throat as if there's any redeeming qualities. There aren't. And so if you think that you're going to go get another quarterback, it is malpractice to keep trotting him out here when you have another quarterback who's sitting in the wings that you can see if you're going to be able to play him, and he's a franchise guy. Nobody is saying give Shador Sanders the keys. All they're saying is give him an opportunity to show what he can do, and it's based on this. And by the way, how many games did Joe Flacco get before they jettisoned him?
4?
4 games. So you telling me Joe Flacco, the same Joe Flacco that's thrown for thousands of yards, got 4 games. But Dillon gets the benefit of the doubt, and it's pulling teeth to get to 200?
Yeah, I'm done seeing him.
Come on.
But I agree. Stop. Obviously, see, I think Stefanski should be fired either way. The one thing I'll say about, like, if she plays Shador and he stinks the rest of the year, you said, you got to trade him.
Go.
The only reason I don't think it's as necessary, if they drafted a quarterback in the 1st round, it wouldn't be the same.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
Nah, not the
yes,
same
it
way.
Would. Yes, it would.
No,
yes, it
no.
would. It would still be there.
It would but it would make sense that you'd play a first-round quarterback as opposed to a guy you drafted.
All right,
and
if he struggles 2 or 3 games in a row, we're going to go through this crap all over again.
I hear you. That's not a reason to trade a guy. I would leave it up to the next coach to say, is this guy worth developing?
That's another thing.
Yeah.
His evaluation of what it is with Shedeur Sanders is invalid because he didn't develop nobody. It looked the same with Deshaun Watson, Joe Flacco, all the above. I don't care what their evaluation is on any quarterback. You show me the quarterback that they got it right with. None of them.
The one they had that could win, they got wrong.
They got him out of here.
There's no quarterback in the 6 years that Kevin Stefanski's been here that has played anywhere else that has played their best football for the Browns.
Never.
None. Not even Jacoby Brissett, who didn't play well yesterday, but had been playing well for Arizona before yesterday. Better than he'd ever played here.
I mean, he had guys that had moments. Flacco and Winston both had moments here where we were like,
not the best of their career.
No, but we were dazed by what we were seeing.
Yeah.
We're like, where's this coming from? And then they both reverted to, it's like the clock struck midnight for both of them. Did you guys, Mike, I know this is off topic, but talking about the offensive line this horrible, did you guys see James Hudson yesterday?
Oh.
No, what happened to him?
What did you think of that as a Giants fan?
He's an abomination.
He was flagged
nasty
4 times on the opening drive.
Nasty.
Oh, really?
And they benched him, and he went apoplectic on the sidelines.
Yeah, it's the second time he's had 4 penalties on a drive this season.
He went bananas.
Oh, really?
Like, how dare you bench me?
Jeez.
But you know what I
Dable
liked? What I liked was I'm sure they don't have quality backups either. But finally they said, okay, I can't look at this anymore.
By the way,
Jay, that wasn't yesterday, but that was from week 2.
Okay, week 2. Someone sent it to me, and I had not seen it.
No, that was from week 2.
Okay.
By the way,
4 penalties that
but
same
now
day.
is he cut? Has he been released?
Nope.
Okay, because I thought
But he's not starting anymore. He
shouldn't be.
You know the
starting 'cause
situation
Andy
you
Thomas
talked
was
about
hurt.
with
No,
the
he's not.
Titans
Okay.
that they fired their coach
He's
for the
horrible.
season?
Yeah.
You're going to have the same thing with Giants probably.
Probably. Yeah.
I mean, you got to fire Dable.
I mean, and there's always exceptions. Like Vrabel and Drake May very well could be the exception where it works.
Right,
Where they
right,
figure
right,
out.
yeah.
You can always fire someone, repair, and it works. But
Sure.
the vast majority
it will set them back.
this is when you start getting, I didn't want this guy. This guy was already here.
Yeah.
And
It's a never-ending cycle.
Did you guys see the Vrabel interview on Rich Eisen where he was talking about the development of Drake May? And he basically said, Eisen was being very complimentary of Drake May, talking about he's got the best deep ball in the NFL and the stats bear that out. And Vrabel he's so Belichickian. He's like, no, we're not the best at anything.
Yeah.
Like he's made strides, and he's open to learning. But what we've done is we've empowered him to be our leader. I like the way he communicates to our players. I like the way he listens to the coach's message, and he's a great purveyor of our message. Like we give him the message, and he gives it to the locker room, and they follow him. And I just I don't know that it's going to work out this way. Nobody can predict what will happen down the road. But it just seems like they got on the right page immediately, and I know he wasn't his guy, but he's already decided that they can win together.
Sure, yeah.
They can accomplish a lot together.
There's always exceptions, but these guys can't ever get it right. I certainly don't give them the faith that if they misalign regime with quarterback, that they'll then get the right one.
There's too many layers to it. I don't want to open that up right now.
All right, Mike.
We'll move on in one sec, real quick, just to wrap up on the Gabriel stuff. With Tommy Rees calling plays, did anyone notice any significant difference in the stacking of plays, the sequencing of plays?
No, the one thing
that you thought looked different than what
I thought one thing that looked incredibly stupid was going with an empty backfield on the drive was third and manageable, and he had nobody. Judy was kind of back there, and he took the sack late in the game. Like, why are you going with an empty? It might have been a 4th down play.
There were 3 guys wide.
There was 3 open guys open.
Yeah,
on that
but
play.
I mean, he had an empty backfield, right?
Right, because that means you got to get there was the quick. And
there were 3 guys wide open.
But remember, they told us that was his strong suit.
Yeah.
They told us that he was able to handle that. He was able to process stuff. He was able to anticipate. They said that he was much further along than Shedeur Sanders because that's why he was playing. But what I'm saying is, you go back and watch the All-22. There are 3 guys open on that play. The blitz is obvious. I don't know if it's a 0 blitz, but they brought pressure.
I think it was a 0 blitz.
But they brought pressure, and there was 3 options open on that play. The thing is, when he is collapsed in the pocket, and let me just get this out. There is no knock against Dillon Gabriel. I think he's a great human being. I think that he's been put in a position where it's like he has limitations plus the limitations of the offense. I'm not going to act like it's all Dillon Gabriel, right? So let's get that clear. But when he is in the pocket and they are collapsing the pocket, he cannot see where it's going. He can't see the field.
Well, he took the sack at the end of the first half that almost cost him the field goal.
Yes, he just can't see. And I get the fact that it's a difference between being able to speak it on the whiteboard and able to execute. And when you take that type of sack, that tells me one or two things. You're not seeing the game fast enough, or you're not able to physically see or manufacture and see those plays and those routes developing. And that's just the issue. And those things are never going to change because he's physically limited. And that's just is what it is. So that's my assessment on Dillon Gabriel. No knock against him. I think he's a good dude at the end of the day. And by no stretch of the imagination, and I'm saying Shedeur Sanders is going to come in here and throw for 500 yards the first week. Well, if I drink some Kool-Aid that day, I might say that. I might be tongue-in-cheek. I might. But here's the thing. At this point, I just want to see what it looked like, bro. If you're going to make a move, make the move so we can make an evaluation and get on to next year. But
what are we, 2-7?
We're 2-7. It's not. Okay. He's not going to die going on the football field.
What are we going to learn by trotting the same thing out there and looking at it over and over and over and over and over again?
Yeah.
We have to see something different.
So there's nothing different with Tommy Rees, Mike.
But I liked how he. I think there was a point in the game where the Browns were. It's in the middle of the game, and it's usually the time period where Kevin Stefanski usually gets pass happy. I thought Tommy Rees did a nice job of consistently sticking to the run, even though it might not be giving you huge chunk plays, right? I thought he gave some options. I thought he did his best work in getting Dillon Gabriel out of the pocket. I thought he did a good job of doing that, and there were some throws that Dillon made early on that got him into a little bit of rhythm. So I will say those two things, but was it the same? Yeah, pretty much.
I just think the only thing I'm excited about with the Browns offense is that I think Quinn Judkins and Harold Fannin, but especially Judkins, the upside for both of them is really high.
Yeah.
When Judkins gets a real team around him, he can be as good as any
Gabriel running the ball yesterday was something we hadn't seen.
Right.
He ran for more yards yesterday than he had in all of his previous games
54
combined.
Yards yesterday.
And I don't know if is that. Do you think that could be something like Rees emphasizing to him more? Look, if it's not there, run.
Well, most of it came on 2 runs.
Yeah,
I think it was just the coverage.
I mean, he wasn't afraid. Didn't seem afraid to leave the pocket and run.
And by the way, I just say this quickly, McNuggets. If you draft an offensive lineman, you get you a good one. That not only helps your quarterback who's on the roster, it also helps Quinshon Judkins. It also helps your running game. It also then gives you a boost so that you can run the ball effectively to then in turn help said quarterback. So for me, I just think it's foolhardy. And no, you can't be going in the draft and getting 5th round tackles and call it the same thing. You need to spend high capital on blue chip positions, and the Browns up front are just a mess.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to get back to the Browns in a bit. We got to talk about the Guardians indictments after a quick word from the Home Builders Associations. Gift big this year with the Home for the Holidays raffle. You have a chance to win a beautiful new custom home or cash prize this holiday season and help make wishes come true for Make-A-Wish kids with critical illnesses. Raffle proceeds benefit Make-A-Wish OKI, which has granted over 22,000 wishes to children facing critical illnesses across Ohio, Kentucky, and the Indiana region since 1983. This year's house is a custom-built ranch by Petros Homes and has 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and a 3-car garage, including amazing features like a great room with vaulted ceilings, an unbelievable kitchen with beautiful finishes and a large hidden pantry, a mudroom with open lockers, and a unique pet shower station. One lucky winner will be announced on December 24th, so get your $100 ticket now. Just visit ahomefortheholidays.org to buy your tickets. That's ahomefortheholidays.org. Terms and conditions apply.
I don't know about you guys, but when I got into this business, I never thought I'd be Googling the sentence or the question, is the Dominican Republic an extradition country?
No, I wondered that too.
Wow.
And it is.
I wondered that too. I assumed that it was, but
yeah. But like, who would have thought I'd be, looking for that for work-related purposes? But that's where we're at.
We'll explain to people why.
Yeah. So for those who don't know the news, a federal indictment came out of the court, the federal court in New York yesterday that both Luis Ortiz and Emmanuel Clase are charged with multiple counts, including money laundering, facing up to 65 years in prison. Ortiz was arrested in Boston. Clase is expected to be arrested at some point. We don't know where he is right now. He's allegedly in Dominican Republic. It reads you can read the indictment. It's, I believe, a 22-page indictment. Or you could just read Zach Meisel's article in The Athletic. He wrote 2 articles, but his second article details the alleged incidents, and it also has exact quotes from Clase's text exchanges with a couple of guys. And this, I know a lot of people were putting out this theory that he was being threatened and all this stuff. That's why he did it. Well, the conversation he had with this one guy made it seem like they were good friends. He was getting them tickets to the game.
He sent a sad puppy dog.
Right, when they won. When they won.
He was supposed to intentionally throw a ball, and the batter swung at it.
Yeah, Andy Pajes of the Dodgers swung the bat and swung and missed. He got the save, 1, 2, 3. By the way, the first alleged incident, I'm sure you remember this game, was against the Mets in 2023. A game that James Karinchak gave up a grand slam to tie the game.
I remember that.
And then the Guardians regained the lead 9-7. And then Clase gave up 3 runs and they lost 10-9.
Wow.
And that's the first game he's... Now, every other game he was alleged to have do this, he got the job done. He won the game. The 2 games, in Ortiz's case, it's only 2 games that they have, that they believe they have proven.
Yeah, they said he didn't start doing it until like June of 25.
Yes, both of the games with Ortiz, he got crushed. Like he was feeling the pressure of what they were doing or whatever. Yeah. Or clearly, if you read between the lines, Ortiz, it seems like ratted out Clase.
Ortiz was so bad at throwing it that he was caught right away.
Right, he was caught right away.
Clase got away with it for 3 years.
Yeah, now
there's no evidence that any of this happened in the 24 playoff games, which surprised me because he was awful.
Right, and it's going to lead you to believe things like that. Now, Zach pointed out, because he read the whole indictment, that there were no accusations. All the evidence they have on Clase, there's a lot.
Yeah.
But apparently none of it took place in 24, period, which was his best year. It was a bunch of games in 23, and then it happened again in 25. Yeah, and
and how did they exactly catch, did they...
Well,
with the bets?
But I'm told that, and you've probably heard this, Jay, that the casinos are the ones that have the bandwidth. They moderate. They're called irregular bets.
Right. Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
And that's how they were
These
initially
guys were not very smart.
First of all, there's so many dumb things done here. I didn't even know you could bet on the speed of a pitch. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I had no clue that you could do that.
So they were betting
You're essentially betting whether a guy's going to throw an off-speed pitch or
over or under a certain miles per hour.
But they were betting parlays on ball or strike, and then speed over or under 98, 99, whatever. So he would spike a slider in the dirt,
knowing he's going to pay both.
And it's going to be under.
Again, reading between the lines, it seems how they got caught is that the betting on Ortiz pitch, Clase is probably someone that gets a lot of prop bets bet on him because he's a known pitcher. He's a very good pitcher. Ortiz is essentially a nobody, right? And so all of a sudden there was a game in, what was it?
June.
It was June 15th.
Right, June 15th, where there was a lot of money bet on one pitch with him out of the blue because nobody was betting on, and this raised a red flag.
Those are the irregular bets.
And so that's why, even though Clase was allegedly doing this much longer, that it seems like they got the whole thing because they busted Ortiz, and then through Ortiz they got Clase.
Or they got Clase through Ortiz, and then they got phones and text messages.
Right.
And there was all kinds of evidence in Clase's
These guys are dumb. There's no way they're ever.
The incredible thing to me is the amount, even the $400,000 that was alleged to have been paid off on the Clase pitches.
Yeah.
That's popcorn.
He's made $12 million already in his career, and if his options got picked up, which they would have been, he's guaranteed another $26 million going forward.
It's all gone.
All of it gone.
To make $400,000.
Luis Ortiz, on the 2 times that the DOJ has determined that he tipped pitches, made $12,000 off it.
Yeah, what's the point?
Because
guys make stupid decisions.
Because they never think they're going to get caught, and it's only one pitch. It's one, and if there's If there's $5,000 laying on the ground, you're going to bend over and pick it up. It doesn't matter how much you make. You're going to bend over and pick it up.
Depends on what's attached to it.
But to them, they were never going to get caught.
They thought,
well,
stupidly.
Sadly, what's going to happen is they are now the cautionary tale for every baseball player.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Every baseball player.
And I was talking to Zach yesterday. Every time a pitcher spikes a curveball in the dirt now, you're going to go, well,
right.
Did you make money off that?
How much money was made off that?
Yeah.
We're seeing that all the time in the NFL and the NBA. Whenever there's a weird-looking play, you're seeing people saying that now.
I know that you guys are, Jay, I think in particular, pretty steadfast that this prop bet, these super props, are not going to go away.
No, I'm actually writing for today. We got to get rid of these.
Yeah, I mean, I said that a couple weeks ago, and you said, well, they're not going to go away. I can tell you that. Someone did. Maybe it was Bull.
Oh,
I said I ain't never known to get no money back.
I don't think prop bets are going to go away now.
No, these super prop bets
well, you
on
can bet on every
pitches,
pitch.
yeah,
that just seems
that's
crazy.
going to go away. There's no point for it. And now the commissioners of all of the leagues are looking to what move they're going to make, and they're probably talking to the casinos.
I think what an easy solution is, first of all, you shouldn't be able to bet on every pitch. That's stupid.
No.
And in terms of like over-unders on players scoring in the NBA,
that's going to go away too.
I would have, any guy that you would have for like under 10 points, just don't even put a lineup on it. Like, don't even put it up.
Well, I think those lines are going to go away too. What's interesting is
I don't think that's going to go
Ohio's governor DeWine initially came out and said, "Oh, we're going to ban these. We're not going to have these bets in Ohio." Then
the lobbyists,
the money got to them.
The lobbyist was like, "Hold on
now, hold on."
There are a few lobbying groups more powerful than the gambling.
Yeah, absolutely. And he pulled back his stance and he goes, "Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a wait and see approach to see what the commissioners of each league do, but it's coming." So I think what he's doing is passing the buck off to the commissioners, hoping that the commissioners do the right thing here.
In the end, people blaming the fact that these sports are working with gambling companies, I don't have a problem with that. These things were happening long before gambling was illegal.
It's almost easier to regulate.
It's easier to regulate. It's easier to bust the guys.
They're working in conjunction on these investigations.
Right. Yeah.
So
because it doesn't benefit. These scandals are bad for the sport. They're bad for the fans. It's the only time where the sport, the fans, and the gambling companies are all on the same page. It's not good for any.
No,
it's
not.
Are the gambling companies on the same page?
No.
Are we sure about that?
No.
It's
why would
the gambling company want games to be fixed?
Because
no. Why would they want prop bets to go away?
No. That's not what I was saying. I was saying any improprieties are bad for everybody. No, they don't want prop bets to go away.
I don't know how you get rid of prop bets. Like
I think there's a compromise that there's some prop bets will go
right
away.
now it's in the hands of the commissioners. Each individual commissioner is said to be looking at their league and their options to see what they can do.
So you go to DraftKings and say you can't, and DraftKings says, yeah, we're still going to. So then what?
Well, you going to lose the whole bag?
So this thing...
Yeah, no, I think right now they have a good relationship, and they want to continue to have a good relationship, but the commissioners are tasked with keeping their product, making sure that their product is what it looks like.
The players' unions, in my opinion, need to pressure these leagues. The players' unions need to say, get rid of this. Gone.
Yes.
We don't want this.
I agree.
That's where it starts. The players' union bargains this with the league and says,
I don't think the league
I don't
wants
think
them
you
anymore.
have to get rid of all prop bets, but things
the
like
individual prop bets.
Things like a ball or strike. Things
those are pointless.
Will some Clippers bench players score over 2.5 points? Those are easy, shady things. Betting on whether Aaron Judge is going to hit a home run or not, to me, that's a different story.
I think I'm not going to say we all naive, but we understand that. Listen, when you raking in money hand over fist, and the only downside to these little scandals is what? The downside is people will talk about it, but they still gonna gamble.
Yeah,
and
they're still gonna
guess what? They'll just suspend these dudes for life and put them in federal penitentiary. And they're like, oh, there's 2 outliers there. Let's continue to keep this thing rolling.
They are going to make an example.
Oh, yeah.
They're not going to get 65 years.
They're never playing again, right?
No, they're done.
No.
They're done.
They're going to prison.
Yep, they will go to prison.
Clase will.
Yeah.
Clase will go to prison.
It'll be months, not years, and it may be 20 months. But they're not. Yesterday it came out that they each face 65 years.
No.
They're not getting anywhere near
They'll
that
settle
time.
Eventually,
they're going to settle. Really, what they want.
I shouldn't say Clase is going to go to prison.
Who knows?
More than likely, I believe.
Both will go to prison.
From a baseball standpoint,
Ortiz may not, because first in gets the best deal, and I do think that he was the rat.
Yes, I
it
think
feels
Ortiz,
like he got pressured by Clase potentially.
I think Ortiz
maybe
they were pretty tight. They were chummy.
Yeah.
Ortiz probably gets probation or something. He avoids jail time. But I think Emmanuel Clase.
I think the real the punishment here is the lifetime ban and the money that they left on the table.
Yeah, especially Clase.
And they want. I believe that baseball needs new sacrificial lambs. Pete Rose, a lot of people, a lot of players today never saw Pete Rose play.
Yeah.
If you ask them, what about Pete Rose? Oh, he's the hit leader, and he got banned for betting. That's it.
To the point, though, about like how could you jeopardize all this money for this little bit? Number one, they never thought they were going to get caught. But number two, even like $50,000 is still a lot of money to these guys. And I know it doesn't sound like it, but I remember when Kyrie was here on his rookie deal, and he was making, I don't know, $6 million, $7 million. And I was talking to him. They were talking about the All-Star rookie something or other, something about All-Star game, and he was going for MVP or something. He's like, or he had won it, and he won like $50,000, and he's making $7 million a year. What's $50,000? And you make it $6-7 million a year. He's like, I bought my Range Rover with that. So there's always no matter what,
and forget the money. And every day, everywhere, people make dumb decisions they shouldn't make.
Yeah,
it don't make sense.
You don't think you're going to get caught?
I'm going to tell you this. This is easy money. Like, here's the thing. Yeah, you make $7 million, but let's do a quick math facts, boys and girls. You make $7 million a year. What tax bracket is you in?
Yeah, you're losing 40%.
Oh, so that's half. So now you made $3 million.
And throw another 8% onto your agent.
Yeah.
Now it's half. So 7 became 3.5 in a blink of an eye.
And guess what? How many people, they from the Dominican Republic, how many people they taking care of?
Yep. Yeah, right.
How many, I mean, you got.
You still have plenty of money. It's a lot of.
But what I'm saying is, people live beyond their means.
I hear you.
And every day. So you said, how can they do that for $5,000? Because they needed that $5,000.
$5,000 still $5,000.
$5,000, like, hey, look, and it's a lot of people out here. I still don't understand how Chauncey Billups. I'm like, dog.
Chauncey made $126 million in his career. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money by any standard.
And you doing poker? I'm cool, bro. You supposed to.
But I mean, in Clase's mind, I'm only spiking one pitch. I can still strike the guy out.
Right.
I just made $5,000 for spiking one pitch, and I still struck him out.
And we still won.
And we still won the game.
I have 2 questions for you guys. One, I know you mentioned some jail time, some prison time. How long do you think Clase? Is it months? Is it a year? It's up to 65, but what do you think?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the 20-month range. It's just a guess.
I think it'd be less than that.
Strictly a guess, but I think they want to make a loud and clear message here.
All depends on what information he got.
Think about,
because if Ortiz gave him some information, you think these is the only 2 isolated people that they may have known about? Like,
well, right now they are saying that we just went to those players.
But you know, some people say I ain't gonna talk until that sentence come down, and they say, is there anything you would want the judge to know prior to your sentencing? Right? Who knows?
Is the other question baseball related, Mike, or no?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a disaster for the Guardians.
That's what I was going to ask.
For Clase, because think about it, you had Clase for 3 more of the years
on
at a well below market rate.
Yes.
Or you could have traded him this offseason
that
for
was
a
the
haul.
bigger. That was the bigger issue.
They would have traded him at the deadline.
I think he would have been gone at the deadline, and I think
maybe.
So what pieces?
At the very least, they would have traded him this offseason.
I mean, they would have.
I think they were in a situation where they would have traded him.
I believe he was good as gone.
They would have had to get it, but there was no rush. So if they didn't get a killer deal,
look at what Oakland got for Mason Miller. That's what they would have got. They would have got DeVries from San Diego.
Well, who knows?
I believe he was good as
either
gone.
way. He would have been traded soon or whatever, and now that's gone.
They get nothing for him.
That's gone. Now you lose the guy who's been the best closer in baseball, and for nothing.
Yeah,
get nothing
for nothing. It's and now they have even more money to spend potentially.
Hey, their
payroll's like $40 million right now.
Is those contracts void?
45.
Oh, they will be.
So how much? So how much money? How much money they gonna get? Like they get that bread all back?
Ortiz was on a minimum.
Yeah, I think Clase was supposed to get $7 million next year.
I thought it was 10.
I think at 10 were the two option years.
Okay,
were 10 each. So I think he had about $26 million left coming to him. I mean, the last 2 were option years, which you obviously.
Either way, the Guardians are set up to spend money this offseason.
Jose Ramirez is the only player making more than $7 million.
The Dolans is using that money in the marble room.
The excuse this year, by the way, the excuse for them not to spend this year is the lockout coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be a lockout after that.
It doesn't mean they can't spend.
Of course it doesn't, but that's the excuse they're going to use.
But they will use that as an excuse.
They need to find a player who will take a 1-year, $30 million deal. That's what they can do. They're not going to invest long-term money. They're not going to commit to money during the work stoppage. But if they can find a guy who falls through the cracks back when Boris was holding all these guys out and everything, if they can find one guy to spend big dollars on, they might be able to work something out.
There'll be guys. It's going to be a weird free agency year because
of that.
the work
there's
stoppage.
the work stoppage is hovering, and there's a lot of good players in free agency.
They might surprise
There's
you.
a lot of hitters.
Somebody's going to get multi-year deals. These teams
Well,
will
yeah,
land
Kyle
somewhere.
Tucker will get a multi-year
Yeah.
deal, and Kyle Schwarber will get a multi-year deal. But yeah, you got Pete Alonso, you got Cody Bellinger, you got Alex Bregman. There's a lot of good hitters out there.
If you can find one to take a 1-year deal for a big lump sum of money, they might be able to work something out.
Yeah,
But it's not going to go beyond 1 year, I don't think.
yeah, they would probably do like one of those. We'll give you a 2-year, but the second year's an option, and it's
Only
for a
if
guy
they hold the option, and no player's going to do that.
Yeah, I was surprised Bieber picked up his own option.
I was very surprised.
I was shocked by that.
I was very surprised.
How much was it?
$16 million.
Well, but it's really only 12 because he had a $4 million buyout. So it really only.
I thought it was $16 million for him.
Right. He gets $16 million, but if
Yeah.
he would have opted out, he would have still gotten $4 million.
Hey, man.
Well, yeah.
How old is he?
So really, it's only a $12 million that he's getting, and he could have gotten a multi-year deal. I mean, he wouldn't have gotten that massive contract he was hoping
He
for.
wants the big one.
Yeah,
That's what he wants.
But
And
at
he's
this
looking
point, I
at
don't know
next
if he's
year
ever
as a
going to get
prove-it
that.
year and stay healthy. Didn't help him.
I
They
think
gave up the
somebody
home
would've paid
run
him
and
3
lost
years,
the World
6
Series.
Had they known he was going to pick up, because I think a lot of people were surprised by that. Had they known he was going to pick up the option,
They
I
wouldn't
wonder
have traded him.
I wonder if they still would have traded him. I don't know the
Yeah.
answer to that.
And here's the other question. Would have he decided to stay in Cleveland and not Toronto?
Yeah. Zach Meisel was
He's going back to a team that made it to the World Series.
Yeah,
Right.
Zach Meisel
That's
was
true.
telling me that apparently he and his wife really enjoyed their brief time in Toronto. Yeah.
And what's not to enjoy? It's a great
And also,
city.
they
Great
probably
city.
still trade him because this team looked like it was going nowhere at the
Right,
trade
that's
deadline.
true. That's true.
But I was very surprised.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
picked
yeah.
up
And
the
it's
option.
hard to turn 16.
And they got enough starting pitching. It's the rest of the
Hey, Toronto in the summer is awesome.
Man, what's
Toronto in February
It's
is
wonderful.
no joke.
It's basically it's not far from here geographically. It's very similar weather.
Yeah, it's great in the summertime.
It is an awesome summer city. It's like Chicago.
If you guys want some more Guardians chat, Bo and Zach did a Ultimate Guardian show this morning. It is on our YouTube page. It was a great episode, so go check that out. It gives you some more in-depth details on the indictments and what's next for the Guardians after the news from Clase and Ortiz. We got one quick Cavs topic, then we'll get back to the Browns. Our Cavs discussion today is brought to us by FanDuel. The NBA is back. There's no better place to get it on the action than with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. You can bet on over-unders, lines, individual player props, anything you want. You can find it on FanDuel, turning any bet into a same-game parlay for a shot at even bigger payouts. And right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets to use when their first $5 bet wins. Just head over to FanDuel.com/UCSS to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Jason, it was an ugly start to the season for the Cavs, and since then they have been playing a lot more like the team we were accustomed to seeing last year. They're 7-3, second in the Eastern Conference behind the Detroit Pistons. And in case anyone missed it, Steve, take this play. DeAndre Hunter committed essentially murder on Saturday, excuse me. He literally sent Josh Giddey to the hospital. Josh Giddey is on the injury report today with an ankle.
He on the injury report.
Listed as questionable. That is not a joke. I'm being dead serious. We may just let this play the entirety of this segment. It is that filthy, Steve. Just put this on loop. Leave this on the screen as much as you can.
That man is on
Jason,
the
what do you
injury
make
report.
of the Cavs looking a lot more like the Cavs of late?
Yeah, they got their point guard back, and things are starting to fall into place. So,
He looked like he got hit by a
Broken ankle is
sniper.
worse. That one or the one I just showed
That
you?
one, that's crazy. But this one, look at the jolt. Look at the jolt right here. Look like he got hit. That's the grassy knoll.
Yeah, he does look like he got shot in the leg.
The dude seen it. It was an eyewitness account.
And he's literally on the injury report.
He's literally.
yeah.
That's the nastiest work I've ever seen. Look at him. He don't know what happened. He's like, I don't know what happened.
The way he goes down.
No contact either.
He hurt himself as he was like.
Yeah, you can see. Watch his right ankle. His right ankle touches turf.
Oh, that's
His
the
right
filthiest
ankle literally
crossover.
touches turf.
Yeah,
that's a
Ben's
40-foot crossover.
Yeah.
Just filthy. I mean, seriously, the whole segment could just be us laughing.
Yo, his mom need to come on the court and check on that man. Baby, you okay?
By the way, watch the bench reaction as this is going on. Watch
I
Darius.
saw it. They were going nuts.
Yo, who's there wearing the sweatpants and he's jumping around?
That's Darius.
Oh, Darius?
Oh, that's what you get for having them low tops on. He out there in bowling shoes. Half and half, wow.
He's never going to live that down. And he's having a good season, too.
Josh Giddey's having a terrific season, and this is what people are going to remember.
He wants that happen.
By the way, in that game, the Cavs erased a 16-point halftime deficit to come back.
Yeah, they did not play
And that's the thing. And that's why, Mike, I've decided my new philosophy.
Oh, good gracious.
So I've had 3 philosophies already on the Cavaliers this season. My first philosophy
It's
was
November 14th,
I already
10th,
have 3 philosophies.
and you've had 3 philosophies.
My first one was
You don't care about the regular season.
I don't care about the regular season. I'm not going to watch.
Your second one is I don't care about the regular
The
season.
second one was all right. Well, we got to talk about it, so I'm going to watch. And if I have to watch, then I'm going to take it seriously, and so I'm going to be critical when they play poorly. My third philosophy is, and this is the best one, I'm only going to watch the last 6 to 8 minutes of the games, because everything that happens before that is meaningless.
Yeah, but you still got to see how the players play.
Nah, I'll text Mike. He'll give me an update.
He does do that.
No,
quite
so
often.
here's what he's decided.
Yeah.
He's decided that the first 32 minutes
Are meaningless.
are the regular season.
Yes.
And after that, it's the playoffs.
Yeah.
It counts.
Right. Right. That's all that matters. What's happening?
Well, it's taken you a long time to get to that philosophy.
Yeah.
But
Well,
the NBA philosophy in general is, let me know when there's 3 minutes left.
I mean, except for the games where they play on the special court for the United Arab Emirates.
Oh, my God.
I mean, those
I
are
can't even-
magnificent.
I
Those are
can't even
huge,
look at those.
impactful games.
Watching those
Oh, my
courts, they
God.
are.
We're eliminated from that nonsense already, right?
The Cavs are 1-1. They have 2 more games regardless.
They blew
but
Washington
It's going to be
out.
tough to.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I mean,
How are we going to survive, Mike, if we don't make it
So what they got to
Yeah.
win the next
What are
2
you
or
gonna
something?
do?
to win that?
They didn't make it last year either. Do you remember?
Yeah,
They did?
devastating.
We got to win the
Devastating.
Calder Cup this year. Let's go.
Jason, back to the real question at hand before we got distracted by the. Let's see the crossover one more time, actually.
Bro.
You know what? Let's see the crossover. Steve, pull it up one more time. But
Pull it
Jason,
up,
what do you make of
Steve.
the
Pull it
Cavs?
up.
Looking a lot more like the Cavs.
Yeah, I don't think it's that surprising. This is a talented team. We knew they were going to be a good team. They've had a lot of
Mop
injuries
guy
early
grabbed
on.
his mop like there might have been a wet spot.
He's on the
Behind the basketball.
Jason, I promise you I'll let you answer the question at some point.
No, it's fine. Like
there must be a wet spot out there.
Look, he like, no,
they're
look,
playing like
look at
they're playing like we thought they would eventually play this year. So they've weathered the storm early on without Darius. Darius didn't play the other night. They're going to limit him while he continues to work his way back. But this is a good team. We said before, you go in 50, 55 games with just Evan and Donovan. They'll get you to 50 wins. And then it's a matter of the postseason after that.
Yeah.
What's our evaluation of Evan Mobley right now? Is there any growth off of last year
Is there any growth off of last year?
to this point?
I think that they've asked him to do things that he's not comfortable doing.
He ain't there
So, and I'd keep doing it. I'd keep force feeding. Now, I think Mike and I disagree on that, but you know how it ends the other way. You know how it ends.
Right. I agree.
We've
They
seen
should
that
keep-
movie.
They should keep force feeding.
So keep putting him in uncomfortable spots.
Mike, you don't think they should keep doing that? Sorry, Jason.
No, I think they should keep doing it. I
Yeah.
think it's just clearly obvious that at this point of his career, there are things that he's very capable of doing, and there are things that he's still Bambi-esque in trying to figure out.
The only way to improve is to do it.
I didn't say cut it all out. I just said
and-
when you have everyone else back in, especially with Darius back in the flow, I want to see them utilize him in the ways that he's best at more frequently than they had in the first 7 games, where he was just basically said, here's the keys to the car, go do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
I think he's just better in structure.
And maybe there's a happy medium in between those two. I saw Tyvis said he's out on Evan. He doesn't think he's ever going to be that guy. He may not be. I just don't think they're going to win the championship if he's not. It's him or they're not going to win the championship because we've seen it the other way too many times. And Donovan can play out of his mind, and he is playing out of his mind. And, I mean,
He's still an undersized guard.
that's exactly it. And November is not May and June.
No.
And it's such a heavy load that those guys have to carry.
What did Golden State win the year that we beat them in 16? Did they win 75?
73.
73. Can the Thunder win 74?
They're really, really, really.
What's
really
their record
good.
right now?
I think they've lost once.
Yeah, they're
9-1.
9-1.
10-1. They look like they could beat anybody they want. I mean,
they're better than last year.
They are better than last year. That's why I was. That's why it's frustrating. I mean, if you're the king of the East, it doesn't get you much.
By the way, they're 10-1, and Jalen Williams hasn't played yet.
And I think their loss was a 1 or 2 point loss, wasn't it?
They blew a 15-point lead in the fourth quarter.
And barely lost.
Yeah.
Doesn't every team blow a 15-point lead in every game now?
Basically,
with three.
Basically, yeah.
It's so easy.
If the other team gets hot
with the
three-pointer.
Yeah, you can. I mean, an 18-point lead can be gone.
I'm not no Darius. Listen, I have not been a big fan of. I mean, Darius Garland is a good ball player. Let me just get this right. But I think, to me, Darius Garland. If you do want to win a championship, I think Darius Garland. He's the second option. What I've seen with Evan Mobley and how Darius Garland gets Mobley and Jared Allen the ball and the way the offense looks with Darius Garland, I think if they want to win, I do agree that the easiest way to do so would be have Evan Mobley be the guy. But I just think that if you got a lottery ticket to scratch off, it's the fact that Darius Garland can get hot and give you 50.
Yeah, but
is it?
They're just not going to win in the playoffs against the best teams with Darius and Donovan as the two best players.
Well, here's the thing.
That's never happened.
That may have to be what it is, because I don't know if Evan Mobley, as we see right now, is he going to be able to develop to a point where in playoffs you can count on him being the second best player.
Well, Jason, if it doesn't happen this year, are you giving up on it?
I think there will be. If they don't win a championship this year, there will be changes.
No. Well, okay, yes.
There will be changes.
But my question is, if Evan doesn't take that step to being the best player this year, is this the last chance in your mind? Does it have to happen this year?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, certainly you lose hope. But I'm not going to say that's it, he is what he is. Just because, again, like his development was so strange from the start where he was never the focal point.
Right.
So I think it stunted his early growth and development because they didn't put him in these spots when he was a rookie. They were trying to win games, and that was the right approach.
Sure.
I'm not saying it was the wrong approach. It was 100% the right way to do it, but it was just he didn't have the luxury of being on a bad team and being able to develop certain skills and learn to do things that he wasn't comfortable doing. So now you kind of have to do it on the fly.
But is he ever going to be good enough? Like
I don't know.
All the best players can create their own offense, right?
Yeah.
Is he ever going to be good enough at that part of the game to be that good a player?
I don't know. I don't know. I think that there's a chance he can be. Yeah. I think it's been misconstrued that I say like he's going to be this. Their best chance to win, he has to play that way.
Right. Yeah.
If he doesn't get there, I don't think that they.
Mike,
can
who
win.
is the best player in the NBA that doesn't create his own offense?
Oh, that's a great question. Give me a sec.
Yeah.
Filibuster for 20 seconds.
Well, because you went back to like Darius and
Darius feels like one
Donovan.
of those players.
But no, but it's like Golden State did win. They beat Cleveland with Steph and Clay, but that was a different level of shooting.
Right. They just
that we haven't seen before or since.
They just
unbelievable. For as good as Darius and Donovan are,
they're not that good.
They aren't that.
Because even Clay was a lockdown defender, and he was 6'7", I mean, or 6'6". At the
they reshaped the game of basketball, and then you drop KD in the middle of that.
So if stop. Oh God, I forgot about that. No, well here's the thing about Darius, right? Where would you put him in terms of offensive skilled players? I mean, he's at his position one of the most skilled guys offensively. Would you say that?
Offensive skilled point guards?
Yeah.
Just purely skill? Yeah, stupidly skilled.
But you have to factor in everything else.
Right. You have to factor size.
You got to play at the other end of the court too.
And you know what KD said? We're going to find him.
That was haunting.
We're going to find him.
To name him, to single him out by name.
Because
he wasn't lying.
It was telling.
And he wasn't lying.
So, like, for me.
Ball don't lie.
Man, it's tough because I don't know any other way. To win a championship and Evan Mobley is not your the best player, that means Donovan Mitchell going to still have to shoot like Donovan Mitchell shooting now, 50%. And he's going to have to be healthy. And then Darius Garland's going to have to play. He's going to have to turn into Kyrie Irving 2016.
Which do you think that's going to happen? I don't buy that.
Kyrie Irving 2016 was a top.
No, that's a big jump.
That's a top 10 player.
What LeBron and Kyrie did going into Game 5 in that building doesn't get enough credit. And they get plenty of credit.
But 40 and 40?
What those two guys did in a closeout game on the road in a hostile environment like that.
I've never
one of the most incredible
things. It takes that kind of effort
seen.
to win a championship against that kind of team.
And then they had to win 2 more after that.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Did I just see that the Cavs are going to be in Miami for 3 days?
2 in a row.
That could be
they
dangerous.
got in 4 days technically because they got in yesterday.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
They better get the first
They'll
one.
win the first one. They're going to lose the second one.
Hey, what do you
3 nights on South Beach.
What do you think? I don't know. DeAndre Hunter seems to be playing a little free right now. Is this a new DeAndre Hunter or what's going on? Because
This is the DeAndre Hunter they traded for.
this dude
is
is
what he did in Atlanta.
step back mid game. Obviously, he put people on posters. He's pulling up from half court low key. If this is the DeAndre Hunter that you're gonna get.
Yeah.
His 3-point splits ain't that crazy, but
He's been better. He's starting to
knock down some
Mike,
shots.
so do you have an answer? Who's the best offensive player in the NBA that doesn't create his own offense?
I think Larry Markkinen right now is probably the answer.
Wow.
He's averaging 28.3 points a game.
Dang, Christmas.
Everybody getting 30
so there is but he's not a superstar.
No.
What would you call him?
A star.
He's an all-star.
An all-star.
Yeah.
He's an all-star.
So
player.
you
Mobley's better because the defense is sound.
Right.
In this era of basketball, I don't think you can be a superstar unless you could consistently create your own offense. Is that fair?
To back your point, the other 3 names I pulled up on this list, and I think Markkinen is arguably the best, maybe second best, but Bam Adebayo's in that category.
Yeah.
But Bam create a little. They let him dribble and everything.
I mean, so could Laurie. I'm just saying, guys, that if you have to run your offense through 100
Okay,
times,
I get what you're saying. I get it.
Aaron Gordon, who's a terrific secondary scorer, but he doesn't create in his own shot. He's
Right.
averaging 20 points a game this year, so
Which is wild.
Right in the same range. And then this guy is the outcast for how he plays. But Jalen Duren, the big man on.
And then Mobley. Mobley's got to be on the list.
I was excluding Mobley. Just
Okay, so Mobley might be the second best player that doesn't create his own offense.
I would take Mobley over all those guys.
Mobley's probably the best.
Okay, so he's better than Markkinen.
Yes.
As an offensive player only?
No, all around.
As a player.
Yeah, as an all-around
player. Right, but Markkinen's a better offensive player.
Yes.
Yep.
Right? Than Mobley?
Yes.
He is.
Yeah, but I think Evan has the potential to be every bit as good as.
And Markkinen's on a bad team, right?
Yeah, the Jazz aren't good.
Right. So, and that's the thing. So unless Evan Mobley, that's the part of his game. Like if he can't create his own offense more consistently, he can't be a superstar. This is not the 80s when you had all these big guys who were superstars.
I think he can create his own offense, though.
I just don't think it's
he
that
hasn't done it yet.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying unless he develops that.
To me, that is
right. That's what
probably
I'm saying.
the last piece to it.
Right.
His development.
But I'm saying if he can't develop that part of his
then
game,
no, he's not going to be in that
superstar.
No, I don't think he will either.
He'll be a very good player, be an all-star, but he will never be a superstar.
It's tantalizing when you watch him do it because it's maddening that he doesn't do it more often.
He does a few things in every game where you go, oh.
Yeah, can we see more of that, please?
That is incredibly difficult to stop.
Yeah.
There's a few things where you're like, huh.
Why did he do that?
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
So he's averaging 20 points a game. He has increased his scoring. His efficiency's gone down a bit. And it's just going to be fascinating to see how they weave in him being more aggressive with everyone coming back. But, guys, we got one last Browns topic we got to get to today. It's brought to us by Rippling. If you're a business owner, here's the truth. SaaS promised to make work easier, but now the average company is buried by hundreds of apps that slow down your team, simply don't work together. That's not SaaS, that's SAD, software as a disservice. That's why you need Rippling. Rippling is the unified platform for global HR, payroll, IT, and finance all in one place. They've helped millions of businesses replace a mess of disconnected tools with one system designed to give leaders clarity, speed, and control. And right now, you can get 6 months free when you go to rippling.com/LockedOnNFL. Learn more at Rippling, RIPPLING.com/LockedOnNFL for 6 months free. Terms and conditions apply. G. Bush, get your novel out. Jason, I hope you brought a pillow to take a nap.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, yeah, all good.
I just go now. I got work to do.
Yeah.
Mr.
Listen.
Jay Crawford.
I don't really have anything, guys.
What?
You were in Florida when the news of Paul
No.
DePodesta came out. This is your boogeyman.
What took so long? That's all I have.
Here's your chance.
Like,
Let it go.
It was funny. I mean, when I'm down there playing ball, I am out. I'm out. That's it. I'm playing baseball. And every once in a while, something big will happen, and I'll look at my phone and be like, what the hell did the world explode? My email, my text, all my DMs were going bananas. And I'm like, what the hell happened? And I did see a headline on my phone about, it just said DePodesta, and I thought, he must got fired. I put my phone back away. I didn't even look. Because I thought that's how his tenure here would end. I mean, really, all I have is what took so long. That's it. And I'm surprised that
he didn't get fired, though, Jay.
No, I know he did.
Yeah.
But he had to know that the end was in sight.
Was it?
I don't know. I don't know.
He was going to get fired.
I tend to think that
he was going to get fired.
All right.
Yeah. And I think he's a smart guy. He really is a smart guy.
Yes.
And he found another sucker, and now let him go screw up the Rockies.
Well, I said
I don't know how he can screw them up anymore.
They're
but
already the worst.
He basically, I laughed and I go, okay. So he went from the dumpster fire of the NFL to the dumpster fire of Major League Baseball.
He was their third choice.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
I was
at least.
It's funny. I was listening. I don't know. It's funny, but I was listening to MLB radio this morning, and I heard Jim Bowden, who was a long time.
I would have hired Jim before I hired him.
Jim Bowden said that DePodesta's been looking for a baseball job for 3 years.
I believe it.
He's been looking to get out of the Browns, and he's been looking for a baseball job for 3 years. Nobody wanted him, and he goes, Paul DePodesta's problem. He goes, as you said, very smart guy.
Very smart.
Graduated number one in his class at Harvard.
Yes.
I mean, you got to be pretty damn smart. He said his problem when he was in Major League Baseball is he had no people skills.
Yes.
He has no people skills whatsoever.
Didn't with the Browns
either. And that continues to be a problem. And everything he does is analytics based. And I know Jason, you also, really think analytics is, people that ignore analytics are stupid.
Yeah.
But the best guys find the balance between people and analytics.
It's how you use
the best organizations use both to find a balance, and those are the winning organizations. The organizations that are 100% on one or the other are losing organizations.
Failures.
And the Browns front office the last few years has been run purely by analytics only and not by people. And that's why they've brought in so many bad character guys, because they don't care about those things. And now before that, for years, the Browns only did it by gut and by people, and they sucked at it for the most part. So it wasn't like that they had the right people doing that.
Well, I don't even know that they sucked at it. I mean, Dorsey was, everybody uses analytics. To say that nobody, there's somebody in the NFL that stiff arms analytics, that's nonsense. There
was back in the day. Now
it's how much you use analytics and how you use it. I think that's more how you use it. I think Dorsey brought in all kinds of great talent.
He did, yes.
And doesn't get the credit for the talent that he brought in.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Well, a lot of people just ran him off and never thought of him again.
No,
I thought at the time we were running him off, I thought, wait.
He got a lot of players.
Why are we running him off?
I don't know if you remember this. I was filling in for Dustin.
Yeah.
The day he got fired. You and I did the show. It was like New Year's Eve or something like that. When
they fired them together, didn't they?
No.
Coach, I thought the coach and GM got at the same time.
The day John got fired, you and I was filling in for Dustin, and you went berserk on the radio about this is insane. Why would you get rid of this guy?
I thought it was insane too.
I didn't like it at the time. Ultimately, it was the Freddie Kitchens hire was a huge mistake by John Dorsey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Freddie Kitchens was not, as much as we're down on Stefanski, he's a professional.
Yeah.
Freddie Kitchens was not a professional.
Let's think about it like this. Hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah.
But remember when Greg Williams took over? They were in the They were in the crapper.
They were 2-5-1.
They were 2-5-1. They went on a run.
Yeah.
They won 5 games, and I think they were close in a lot of them. And the one thing that people talked about was, look at this offense. It was creative. It was innovative. Freddie Kitchens was the all-shucks guy.
Right.
Baker was throwing the ball much better.
And John let his emotions and the emotions of...
People on that staff will tell you now there was a lot of people behind Freddie propping Freddie up.
Yeah.
On that offensive
He's
side.
not a professional.
He's not this offensive genius.
No, he don't know what he was doing.
They did a really nice job. They got more out of Chubb and Kareem together than anybody else did.
And part of it is like I had a little bit of that's stretching it a little bit, but I had a tiny bit of a relationship with John Dorsey because we used to be at camp all the time, and he would come sit with us. He would bust my balls all the time. We had so much fun.
He's a great guy.
And
I loved him.
The guy knows football, and ultimately they threw the baby out with the bathwater because of that. Again, there was no denying that the Freddie Kitchens hire was an extremely stupid move by Dorsey, but it shouldn't have been enough to get him fired.
No, but I think what did get him fired, Jason, correct me if I'm wrong, I think D. Podesta used that as the opportunity to get him out of town.
It wasn't just Freddie. There was disagreement between John and the analytics staff.
Right, he didn't want them involved.
And it goes back to what we've said 100 times about the alignment of the front office, and you've got these competing agendas, and it never works. But you also don't want an echo chamber. They've yet to be able to strike a balance of being able
push
to
back,
agree and disagree.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you show me an organization that doesn't have pushback, I'll show you a losing organization. That some of the best ideas come from confrontation and discussion and debate.
Yeah.
And if everybody, that's why, and I'm not making fun of you for saying it, but it's what you say all the time. Like, they're on the same page, and I always say, but it's the wrong page.
Yeah.
And so for me, being on the right page doesn't get you very much. Someone in the organization should be saying, wait a minute here on Deshaun Watson. Wait a minute here on whomever. Like, and it seems like, yep, we're all in agreement. Let's go get him. Let's do it. Okay, well, all of your decisions were wrong.
I don't think Jimmy wants guys like that, unfortunately.
No, Jimmy doesn't. Jimmy wants yes men, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't want anybody that's going to challenge him.
That's why everyone who throws their hands up and says, "Oh my God, they had Mike Vrabel in the building." I'm like, guys, Mike Vrabel would never work.
No, not the way it was
given
set
what
up.
he just left in Tennessee.
Tennessee was a nightmare for him.
And the clashes that he had with ownership there.
Yep.
You think he's going to walk back into another situation?
No
There's
way.
way.
You know where he
There's no way.
ran to? New England. Because he
And-
knows there's an owner there that will allow you to win and get out of the way.
We had Kevin in Friday, and I said, "Have you ever heard of an owner sitting in the Friday and Monday meetings?" Because Jimmy's legendary for being in the strategy meetings and asking questions. And
oh my God!
And Kevin said the only owner that I've ever worked for that sat in on those was Mr. Kraft, was Robert Kraft, but he sat in the back and just listened
and
he
never
didn't
talked.
participate. He just sat in the back.
Listening
and listened.
is fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You
I'm
on
all
the
for
team.
that.
You need to be informed.
Yeah, that's like the Colts owner was getting, Ursay's daughter or whomever it is, wife. I don't know who she is.
No, it's his daughter.
She should not be on the sideline. That's insane.
No,
I got zero problem with it.
Oh, it's insane.
It's a bad look.
Who wants to work
it's
with,
a bad look.
with your boss standing over your shoulder?
Yeah, and
If she
and
wants
it's
to
not
sit-
because she's a woman. It's if Jimmy's on the sideline, I'm going to say the same thing. Get the
Absolutely.
hell off the
If you
sideline.
wanna sit in-
Working for him.
But the
Okay,
headset,
for right now.
listening
We'll
on the
see.
headset, I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah, in the press box.
Yeah, but don't be on the sideline.
Go in the press box.
Yeah.
If you want to listen, go sit in the press box and sit on the
Hey,
headset.
they
Right.
seem to be cooking. How was
They're-
their
it's
record?
right now.
It's
Great.
Yeah, let's see long
let's
term
check
what
back.
happens there. But I think that Paul had a lot to do with because there was a clash. I always felt like there was a tug of war between Dorsey and Paul won. Dorsey got fired.
Yeah.
And that's when they started listening more to, because for a while Paul was here and they never listened to anything he said. Like, he wanted Sean McDermott and they hired Hugh. And he wanted Kevin and they hired Freddie. So it's like, well, why is he here? No one's listening to anything he's got to say. And then after when they fired Freddie is when they seemed to start listening to him a little bit more, and that's when they went and got Kevin. And for a while it was working. And that's why I said, I think he is good at identifying coaches, because some of that stuff crosses from sport to sport. That's why I mentioned Bob Myers earlier.
Yeah,
Bob is just a really smart guy.
I would agree with that.
Who understands relationships, and it's about building organizations. Who's the guy that used to have on? Andrew Brandt. I asked Andrew one day, I said, you think you could run a team in another sport? He said, yeah. Because it's not identifying the talent and picking the players. It's setting up the system, and it's setting up the structure, and knowing.
I agree with that.
And that was supposed to be what Paul did.
And honestly, I think
But you got to live here too. Like, you got to be here.
But you know what? I think everybody wanted him somewhere
Will
else.
he move to Colorado?
Because he's such a bristly figure. But I do think that the one thing that I admire about the Indians and now the Guardians is, like, Tito was an out-of-the-park home run hire. And they get it right a second time in vote. They And that, to me, Jay, I know the general manager is important, but I just think it's the face of the organization, to me, is the head coach. And they set the temperature in the room. And I felt it at spring training. I talked to you about it. You felt it. There was just something was vibing about the energy and the atmosphere. I didn't know that they were going to go on and win the division, and I didn't predict that.
The Tito thing had run its course, and they needed.
I think Tito was out of energy. They needed a new voice.
They needed new blood,
and they got a new voice.
Yeah.
But the fact that you get it right twice in a row, and really with Tito, they were going back to a guy they knew.
Yeah.
But with Vogt, it was a critical hire, and they got it right. And to me, that's where you have to hit a home run. You have, like in New England, the players are essentially the same this year. They brought Vrabel in, and with it, an entirely new message. And Mr. Kraft did a very smart thing. He went and found a guy that knows the Belichick way. And obviously, Belichick winning had a lot to do with Tom Brady, and I think they benefited one another. But, and I'm not saying Vrabel's going to go on to win multiple Super Bowls in New England, but it would not surprise me in the least.
Wouldn't surprise me either.
The way that team has responded to him, particularly, and I gave the Travion example earlier. The guy was so deep in his doghouse, he got 2 carries a couple of games ago. When Mike felt that the message had been received, he brought him back into his fold, and now the guy's looking at him on the sidelines on long touchdowns runs. Is it okay if I score, Coach? It's just he sets the culture, and he got it right.
Well,
and Kevin, I think, is a good offensive coordinator, but the culture he said here was a losing culture.
No, I think he'll be a good head coach elsewhere.
I hope so.
But
I hope he is.
I do think that it's – yesterday was the first time we looked at us and said, I don't think there's anything left to save. Now, we'll see how the rest of the season plays out.
Well, you said, Francona was obviously a great hire, but, that wasn't a risk. You knew Francona was going to be a great hire.
Yeah.
And they knew him, too. They had a relationship.
And here's the thing with Francona. The equivalent of Francona in football is not coming to coach the Browns.
Never. Why would you?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas
Tito used that as the reason why he was coming here was his relationship with Antonetti and
exactly,
and that was why he came here.
And despite the fact that the Browns will spend money and the Guardians will not, as a baseball manager, Francona knew that coming in, that he was hamstrung by the owner's inability to spend, and yet he's like, this is a good organization. I have a relationship. I'm going to go here. Whereas for the Browns, the coach of a coach of that caliber is no way picking the Browns, even though he knows the owner would spend.
I mean, he was the equivalent of a Super Bowl winning coach.
Why would any coach that has an option
Mike
pick the Browns?
Mike Holmgren came here and refused to coach, which was crazy.
Well, he stole money.
He was cashing checks. You see what I'm saying? You might get a dude with a resume, but he might come in and be like, it's
by
the
the
Browns.
way, and maybe I'm wrong about this, I have zero interest in Gruden. Zero.
Oh, I'm with you.
No, I don't either. And I was a Gruden fan when I was in Tampa.
Right, but
because I saw the effect he had.
That game has changed.
The ship has sailed, bro.
And I think now, when he came to Tampa, I don't think everybody knew what his shtick was.
Right.
They knew him. He'd been around and had some success as a coordinator. But in Tampa, he became a caricature of himself.
Right.
And that's what he is now.
Yeah, and the Raiders thing was a disaster, and now he's
awful.
So what about Belichick?
No,
I'm with you. I'm a no.
Now,
I wouldn't even want Cowher. The game has changed. It's different now. So I don't know. I know you say you want someone with a track record, and I do too.
No, not
but those guys, the guys with the track. What's Doug Peterson doing right now?
They're 90. I don't know.
Where's
golfing?
Doug Peterson's he's an interesting guy to me. In that
you don't got your Peyton Manning, Manning article written yet?
He ain't coming here.
I know he ain't, but you know how it is. He's the mythical. He's the new coward.
Trying to do numbers, Jason.
He ain't coming here.
That's the holy grail. They've been saying that for how many years? How many years?
Going to taint his reputation?
He is not coming here.
If Jimmy would say if Jimmy's ever going to take a back seat to someone, it would be to Peyton.
Right.
So if Peyton said, "I'm coming, Jimmy, but I'm barring you from the building. You cannot come into. I don't want to see you in Berea."
He got it.
Awesome.
Do you think he would sign off on that? Even if he said, The way this is set up, I'm the end all be all.
You know what?
I will come and show up if I get the keys to the castle.
I'll tell you what,
Jimmy
guys.
live up to that.
I'll tell you what.
Could he live up to it? No. Would he agree to it? Yes.
Okay.
But he wouldn't live up to it.
I'll tell you what.
Snake on the deal.
I do a weekly betting pick.
Giants just fired Dayball.
Wow.
There you go.
I do a weekly show
And
with
round and round they go.
with
Yeah,
Brandon
you're right.
Stokely. With Brandon Stokely, we do like a betting NFL picks show every week. And obviously, he's good friends with Peyton Manning. We've talked about Peyton Manning on the show. But I'm going to ask him on our next show that question specifically.
Yeah.
Would he come?
No. Why would he? He's got a great life.
He has, listen.
Right, why would he
He
mess with that
literally
life?
has the greatest life.
Yeah.
When he was here, the PGA gave him an award. They give an Ambassador Golf Award, and they gave it to him last year in Akron before the Firestone. And he came in, and it was a big dinner, and instead of having him give a speech, he wanted to do like an interview. So we did a fireside chat where I had 30 questions written down.
Yeah.
And I did have about 40 minutes with him before the dinner where we were just chatting. And we have a lot of mutual friends. The coordinating producer of First Take now runs his production company. And I knew people at ESPN that were very instrumental in how that show came to be. Peyton basically knew he wanted to call games, but he didn't want to be on the road. And he said, that's not an option for me. I don't want to do that.
Right.
I want to be home I want to tuck my kids into bed. And everybody kept telling him, well, you can't do that. You need to be on the road, and there's production meetings. And he said, well, then I don't want to do it.
Yeah, right.
So Peyton himself came up with the idea for this
The Manning
format.
cast, yeah.
And I thought he was doing it from his house. He goes, no, it's my neighbor's house. It's his garage. So he literally, they have this incredible setup, man cave, golf, simulator, all these screens. And he goes, I tuck my kids in bed even on Monday nights because I walk across the street and I sit down and I do the game with the knowledge and the ability that I have.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what a brilliant innovation. Now, I think when his kids are older and raised, he's very much a family man, as is his dad, as is his brothers. I think at some point, general manager is in his future. I do. Because he knows it so well. But I just don't think it's now because his kids are young. And
Can I throw a theory out?
We hear theory G, then we'll do some super chats.
The theory is, the first time they wanted when they hired Hugh Jackson, I think they hired Kevin. They wanted Kevin Stefanski, but they
wanted McDermott.
They wanted McDermott, and then
Paul wanted McDermott,
and then
they hired Hugh.
Paul wanted Stefanski a year prior to that.
Yes, when they hired Freddie.
Okay, and they passed on him. You said a story about Josh McDaniels. Do you think that they would go back and question and say, Josh McDaniels said, I want complete control, fire everybody? Do you think that if in the case happened where they're looking at a coach, do you think they would consider him?
I would consider him, no.
I would not do that.
No.
Personally.
That's run its course.
He's already had 2 shots of running it his way, and it hasn't worked.
Yeah.
And it was nasty work.
And we get hung up on the big names, and a lot of times it's not the big names that work out the best. But I truly believe, like the Arntel and Bob Myers model was so unorthodox at the time. It's like, what are you doing hiring an agent to run your organization?
Yeah.
Well, who knows the league better than the agents?
it's a dollar and cents game.
Yeah.
And they know it.
Yeah.
They know it inside and out.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm exasperated at this point. They've tried
I'll throw a
everything.
name out for how you fix the organization where you start. And it's not for the coach, it's for the general manager. But I do think Joe Thomas is a smart enough guy
I've
that
thought
I think
about
he'd make a great general manager.
I've thought about him. I was thinking about him just a few minutes ago. Number one, I think I don't know, John Lynch had no experience, right? And he just walked in off the street.
John was doing TV.
Right.
And the people would give him time.
He brings with him a cachet.
But again,
Shanahan and Lynch kind of work together.
and Shanahan was first.
They give him time.
I agree what we said. I think the head coach is more important. in football.
I do.
I think the head coach is more important. They're obviously the GM is very important.
Sure.
I think the head coach is more important. You got to fix that first.
I agree. I agree.
Then marry the GM who goes with him.
But Joe is just when you listen to him talk about the game.
But I put Joe in the Peyton category. Why would he want to do this?
Yeah.
Well, Joe, we asked Joe a couple of years ago, why aren't you coaching? I don't want to coach. I want to be with my kids. Then he takes the job in Germany.
Yeah, but he took his
Right,
kids
but
with him.
I know he did, but
But that's not the time commitment that the NFL is.
I mean,
I
when
mean,
he was
this stuff
on,
ages
he
you.
made time for us during a week, a preparation week, and he was putting in the time.
This stuff
It
ages
consumes
you.
your life, and I don't think he has. I don't know him that well. I don't know. I would be surprised if he had the desire to be a GM right now.
All right,
guys,
Mike, hit us
we
with
got
the
super chats to wrap up today's show. Today's super chats are brought to us by our friends at Peloton.
I'm Cody Rourke from Locked On Broncos, and this episode is brought to you by Peloton. Peloton is shaping the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus, powered by Peloton IQ. This is Peloton's most advanced equipment yet, giving you real-time guidance and endless ways to move, whether you're running, lifting, or you're cross-training with your favorite instructors like Alex Toussaint. It's training reimagined to make your workout more personal. Peloton is built for breakthroughs with features that help you plan, stay motivated, and hit peak performance. You can let yourself run, lift, flex, and go while Peloton handles all the rest. Plus, Peloton IQ provides real-time strength coaching, tracking your progress and suggesting weights that challenge you so you can get stronger. Plus, the new movement tracking camera, it counts your reps and corrects your form in real time, making sure every rep is safer and smarter. So, let yourself run, lift, flex, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
All right, super chats, got a bunch. We'll read through as many as we can. OG Powers says, I would rather listen to Nick Cannon's entire music catalog than watch this Browns offense another week.
Whoa.
Nick Cannon.
Dang, bro.
Neil Gray
Nick Cannon.
says, Haslam is responsible for this tanking 2.0 for supporting Stefanski, coaching record and decision for the past 2 years. No coach is so stubbornly stupid to be starting a backup quarterback as a starter. Crazy work. OG Powers says tickets for sale, 80% off. Not watching this. Fiber TYX says a minute 44 left in the first. Browns had 22 plays for 87 yards. Jets had 3 plays for 2 yards, but the Jets were up 14-7. He also says the first 14 points were given up while the Jets offense and defense were on the sidelines. # were the Cleveland Browns. R-Mac Dog says, this is some nasty business watching the Browns offense. It's worse than listening to Carl Lewis sing the national anthem. Trizzy in the money says, guys, this is why Shador fans are so rabid. You have a guy who's done nothing wrong, worked hard, highly rated out of college, and Tyler Shook saw the field before him, and DG is trash. Rumor is
Tyler
Deshaun
Shook
plays
was drafted
next
in the
2.
second round, though.
Malpractice against 12.
Doesn't matter.
Homer GF says Dart and Shook both looked pretty good yesterday. Rudy H. Wright says, imagine being the circus of the NFL and the guy you said was the circus hasn't sniffed the field yet. This is Barnum and Bailey every week. Dog Pound says Schwartz, Flores, McCarthy, or Gruden. Pay Dorsey. Emmanuel Johnson, feel for Shador. Dillon's awful, yet folks swear Shador is worse. This organization botched quarterback for decades, but reporters act like their word is gospel. Ready, Set, Sulfree says, G. Bush, if he holds anyone else accountable, he would then have to hold his quarterback accountable, and that would be counterproductive to starting him again. Ruby Wright says, fan base so trash, they're still comparing a preseason game to real-life game reps on national TV during the regular season with everyone watching. Hazy Eye Publishing said, why did you guys scoff at my idea as Mike McCarthy as your next head coach?
No.
Oh, he stinks.
Wow.
He's had a checkered.
Give me
pass.
I want a second opportunity guy with some upside.
I mean, your Flores.
I like Brian Flores.
Flores pick seems more and more. Every time I think about it, it seems more and more.
I like the idea of a defensive hard-ass coach.
I do too.
Who's had an opportunity before,
I do too.
and then you get the young play caller to be the offensive play caller.
Yeah, and then yeah. I like his style of
Dan
defense.
Campbell.
It's aggressive.
Part 2.
I was like, do you know something we don't? Is he available?
I mean, I think Brian Flores is a Dan Campbell type of coach.
I think he's of that mold. I think he's a brim.
I mean, we don't know that
gets
it's
him
going to work
going.
out.
He reminds me of a meaner Mike Tomlin. I don't know if that's possible. Like, he's not going.
Oh, he worked with Tomlin. Another name been brought up at least a couple times in connection to the Browns is Clint Kubiak, the OC in Seattle, who's done a really, really, really nice job with Sam Darnold.
But again,
he interviewed with the Browns. He interviewed with the Browns last year.
Mike just did what everybody does, and it's no offense to you because we all do this. We assume because a guy's done a nice job as a coordinator, that means he's going to be a good head coach.
That's what happens.
One thing has nothing
I just said
to
a
do with
name
the
that's
other.
going to be tied to the Browns. I didn't say that's who I'd pick. I just said it's a name that you're going to hear because
I don't want another.
He's done a good job with Seattle.
He's never been a head coach before.
No, he hasn't. I'm just
He's
giving
done a
you
nice
name that's
job as
gonna be
coordinator. That should not, on its own, qualify you to be a head coach.
This is your
But
preview.
once again, I'm not advocating for that to be
I hear
tied.
you.
I'm just saying that's a name that's going to be
His name
tied.
you're going to hear.
Yeah.
It's a name. And by the way, the high-flying offensive coordinator is by default what people just attach to. That's just what it
And
is.
the Seahawks offense has been
is
great.
Doug Peterson on anybody's radar here? Like, would you guys be interested in Doug Peterson?
Not really. He's already
It's
had
a
two
guy
chances,
that's done
too.
it before. Well, he won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Not
So did
that
Mike
long.
McCarthy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I don't think Peterson to me seems younger than Mike McCarthy. Maybe
He is, I think.
I want a guy that's. I hate to do this because it's ageism, but I want a guy that's 52 or below.
Yeah, I don't want an old guy.
I don't want someone who's 66.
No.
I know Indiana's all excited about Cignetti. Well, that dude's been around forever.
So what? They're winning.
I know, but he's winning. But I just want to be able to think
Peterson's
like this
5
is
years
sustainable for a decade.
Are you guys willing to look at a college guy?
No, not for me.
What about Brian Hartline?
To be head coach?
Brian told me this is going to blow your mind. When we had him on, remember which was one of the funniest episodes we ever had. I called him afterwards to talk about his appearance, and we were talking about head coaching positions.
We got to get him back on this summer.
Yes, we do. And his name's popped up obviously at Penn State and some others. But I asked him, that seems like the next jump, and he's like, I just don't see going to Purdue or Wisconsin. That's not what I want to do. And I said, okay, so what is it for you? And he goes, I want to coach in the NFL. And I said, as a head coach? He's like, yeah, as a head coach. And so what I liked about him was he was supremely confident. He knows the NFL. He had success in the NFL. He's had success, a lot of success, as a coordinator in college football.
Well, then his next step would be an OC in the NFL.
I think that too, but I wonder if he's thinks that he could make the jump from offensive coordinator at Ohio State
That would
and
be a disaster.
the wide receiver guru. I don't know that it would be a disaster. I don't know. What I do know about Brian is he's smart and his players frickin' play for him.
Yeah, and he's the best recruiter.
I couldn't say out of pot like right away like, oh, it'd be a disaster.
Hiring a guy that has been a coordinator for 1 year in college to be a head coach in the NFL?
I'd rather give him to Tommy Rees.
Doesn't sound feasible.
No.
But
all right, next super chat. 80s Brazil says Browns don't understand the value of Shador's fan base. They're fuming. It's other countries backing the Sanders family, but whatever. Trade Shador in April. Watch us work. Free 12. You'll Float 2 says I broke up with my woman because of the Browns. Evan 419 says the Patriots drafted Drake May with 0 receivers and an awful offensive line. How are they looking right now?
Exactly. This idea that you got to wait to build the rest of the team is stupid. If you have a chance to get the quarterback, you get the quarterback.
If the quarterback is there, yes, you take the quarterback every time.
And they do have Stephon.
He's right.
They do have Stephon Diggs.
And now they do. But when they drafted him, they had nothing.
No.
They started Jacoby Brissett for the first 6 or 7 games because they were scared Drake May wouldn't last through the season because of how bad the offensive line was.
their line was pathetic.
If the quarterback is there that you like, you take the
him
quarterback
always, no
every
matter what the
single
rest
time.
of the team
If
looks
the
like.
quarterback's not there, that's a
No,
different
yeah, of
conversation.
course. You don't force it.
Daryl Green says, how come when I watch Stefanski's press conferences, I see Hugh Jackson's face when he says we got to do better, 1-31 versus 5-23?
Yeah.
Boycott the press conference.
Brody's bottom line says, let's be honest, Kevin doesn't want to play Shador.
Oh, that's pretty
pretty obvious.
That's very evident.
That's not a.
Who's not being honest
I don't
about
think
that?
anyone disagrees.
Nobody's going to disagree with that.
Ready, set, Soulfree says, Mary Kay asked Dillon what he thought about Kevin saying he will start the next game. He said, doing the same thing over and over is insanity.
That's not true, of course.
Well, he basically So basically, what he said is, if you're not getting the job done as a quarterback, and if I keep coming out playing, bad. I'm paraphrasing here. If I come out and play bad, what do you expect? Yeah. Like,
Myles Garrett was asked about it too, and he was. Did you guys see this?
He said it's up to Kevin.
I don't want my guy to lose confidence.
Yeah. How could he?
Brad Schrack says, is it possible for the Hasms to relocate this team anywhere and for Cleveland to be granted an expansion
I think
franchise?
we should I think what we need to do, honestly, is combine the Bengals and Browns into one team. Take the Bengals offense and the Browns defense, and you'd have a really great team. Let's do it.
That'd be crazy.
Let's fire both coaches and get a new coach.
The Ohio Brungles.
The Ohio Brungles. Let's do it.
Easy Skrills says Davis Mills would be better in our offense.
We're not going to go
nice
there.
comeback by David Mills. 26 points in the fourth quarter.
That was insane.
Yeah.
Of course,
helps
7 of them were by the defense.
And by the way, how's about all those people? I need to see every single scout evaluator that said Trevor Lawrence was the best prospect since Luck and Elway.
Well, he even had a successful year in the NFL.
And this is just,
he's just an average guy.
Just a guy.
Just a guy.
You know what he is? He's a jag.
And that's who he got drafted by.
Akron Hot Saucer says Miles can say all he wants, but this team has quit. This is the most pathetic football team out there.
I don't know about the quit part, but the pathetic
Long hair
team,
don't care says waited for Jay Crawford to explain why G. Bush's Denver coach over players take was legit. Sean Payton was given an awful Wilson quarterback contract on an awful team, was able to identify a quarterback and win in 2 years.
Listen, I think even G's admitted now that was his worst take ever. Have you?
That wasn't even a crazy take. I
think he got backed into it and he couldn't wiggle off the hook.
All I needed to do was make it debatable. That's all I had to do.
But I don't even think he did that.
Hey, listen.
I'm glad I was in Maine.
It was a 2-1. It was a 2-1.
But there are people out there that will look at it and say, "Oh yeah, I'll do that."
Debatable.
I'll do that.
You know what I'm saying? That's the way you do that.
Last one, Beautifully Blessed, says, I think Dillon is robotically throwing to wherever the play hit in practice, and that's why there are so many balls going to go. We'll see you in overtime. Peace.